Hello and welcome to the 67th episode of the Destiny Community Podcast, brought to you by Scuff Gaming Controllers. This week, we have a lot to talk about because the Destiny 2 development update that we've been waiting to hear about for like, I saw a month or so. I've been waiting on that one for a while. We finally got it. I just recorded a video from the channel that lasted about 35 minutes of me reading through it. So let's stretch this out to 3 hours or something here on the podcast.
3 hour
Hope
podcast.
You're on a long drive, listener. Yes, John, I'm talking to you. I really hope I freaked out one of our listeners named John.
Hi, John.
Driving.
John, why are
Whatever
you
you
riding
do-
that person's ass right now?
Yes, slow down.
3 car lengths, come on.
Right. It's a fast lane. It doesn't mean you have to kill people.
Drive fast, take chances, John. You can do this. You got this.
Both hands on the wheel.
Turn off the podcast, put a little heavy metal on, and let's go.
Heavy metal and the podcast.
Mhm.
We've got a guest today, Patrick, don't we?
Yes, we do have a guest today. And so this is the part where people will be very angry because we're not immediately going into the news. But I would like Pope, I would like you to interview the guest.
Don't worry, Houndish. Thank you very much for coming on. But people are not
Thank you for having
angry
me.
that we're going
They're not.
directly into
No.
the news.
No,
People
No.
are actually really
They're really excited to
for
hear
Houndish on
from
the
you.
podcast.
Yeah.
And,
Like,
and
super excited.
so
Crazy, right?
welcome. So I don't know where to start. Like, I guess you're a YouTuber, right?
I also.
I have a question for you. What was your first video you ever uploaded to YouTube?
Wow. I think it was a Red Dead Redemption video,
Nice.
like from the multiplayer of that game, like a land grab in like the free roam, like however
Its
many
quality
years ago.
was awesome. It's like 12 frames per second. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something
Yeah.
like that. It was
Yeah.
pretty
You-
terrible.
you-
I had like
you were
a
defending-
USB
Yeah.
like dongle that you plug like the 3 cables out, like a SCART cable into.
Yeah.
It was pretty gangster.
Nice. Dig it.
And I went back and I watched a bunch of your videos, and I saw this crazy progression of you from that first video where you put up, there's no voice, there's no webcam, and there's just the recorded video and uploaded to what you're producing now. How you have your channel is doing really well, so congratulations.
Thanks, man. Yeah. It's like, it's weird. I just started out as, I was just posting for fun, like purely because it was like, hey, that was a fun game. I want to record it. I want to put it on YouTube. It was like literally just that. And it was messing around. And like, it slowly, like I decided to do a commentary because we were like, me and the clan I was in were really into like Rockstar games. That's why we were playing Red Dead Redemption, and we were posting like videos to do with that. And then I was like, man, I'm going to do like a tips and tricks guide for, it was Max Payne 3. That was like the first commentary I ever had. I really enjoyed that game. Yeah, and like from there it sort of became a thing. It was terrifying though. Like it was truly like terrifying to actually do a commentary, even to like, I had like a couple hundred subscribers, but I just done like montages and stuff. So to actually like talk in a video is one of the scariest things I think I've ever done.
Yeah.
You've definitely I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that a lot of people don't realize that, but if you've never put out a video with commentary and put your opinion out there, the first time you do that can actually be really nerve-wracking because
And people hear your voice.
yeah, they hear your
Yeah.
voice, they hear your inflections, and they also hear your opinions. And you have to put
That's
that out
it.
there and be like, well, I recorded this, I took the time to do this, and this is out there now. And immediately when I do a commentary, it's still to this day, I'll think back and be like, did I say anything I didn't mean to say? And I'll be like,
Oh, I do every
All right.
video, so
Yeah.
like it's
Well,
fine. I go back and I'm
you-
like, did I say that? I
Yeah.
don't even remember saying that.
it's nerve-wracking.
And-
Right.
It's extremely
scary.
nerve-wracking. In fact, I'll look at the
Yeah.
comments just to see if somebody was like, wait, what the hell? This,
Yeah,
And it's,
like there's always that anxiety about it. It's like we just had this big update now, and like you're trying to get the video out quick. We're going on the podcast and all this stuff, and now I'm literally sitting here like, I did listen through it, but there could be anything in there.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, the most intimidating ones still are the ones where I put an opinion out there that I know is going to be unpopular with like a large portion of the community, right?
Yes.
It's like you actually put your ass out on the line knowing that this is gonna piss people off.
Yeah, like if you say you hate the Eververse, man, you're gonna. That's a rough opinion to have right now.
I mean, that's gonna get you a million subscribers.
Let me tell you what impressed me the most about Houndish is that his channel throughout most of this Destiny 2 and through this time where a lot of content creators focused on the negative, his channel is religiously a place you could go to find out what's going on in Destiny without any of that. And you're eternally optimistic. There's critique and feedback. You're not like just gushing over the game. But I really appreciate your channel's how it's matured to a point where you have an opinion, you're sharing it, and you have a really loyal fan base. Every time I put out a tweet saying, "Hey, what kind of guests do you want to come on the show?" There was a mob of people that would come after me, suggesting.
Yeah, that's like super astonishing to me, like because I've done YouTube for a while, but it's kind of like the past few months with Destiny 2, really, like the channel has actually kind of just done its thing almost like effortlessly. Like I don't know, maybe I feel like that because I enjoy making the content, but like when I see people reacting like that, it's just it's crazy, man.
That's great.
It's bizarre.
You've really become a news source where there's not a whole lot of news sources out there anymore either. It's like a lot of the people that used to do kind of daily Destiny news videos kind of just like, nah, not so much, but you're still out there and you're doing a great job like every day. I was watching your video. I think it was about the Christopher Barrett tweets. Did that come out today or yesterday?
I think it was today. I've been up for like 20 odd hours.
Yeah, what time is it there? What time is it there?
It's 20 past 2 in the morning. So it's
Yes.
Yeah,
you absolute legend.
Well, I mean, you put a lot of the tweets together in context. You showed them on screen. It was a good video. Like it was just a solid, informative video. I really enjoyed it.
I think there's I would stop gushing about you, but there is the views that you had, or the videos you had about upcoming Crimson Days and how you approach leaks that are coming out as respectful, but you still cover it. Yeah. I just feel like you are one of those content creators that I feel could have a lot more subscribers than you do. So anybody who's watching right now or listening, make sure to go to YouTube. There's a couple X's in there, but you xHOUNDISH and you go find the guy and add him to your daily listening.
It will be linked in the description of the video if you care to go just click.
But do you guys want to?
I appreciate it.
Do you guys want to jump straight into this? We got so much to talk about. I feel like we're going to hear a lot about your experiences, Houndish, through covering this stuff. But I just wanted to personally say thank you very much for coming on. This is no better day to come on than today. So
I know, right? The timing is
awesome.
It's a good day to have you specifically on too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me. It's awesome. Thanks.
Let's get to it.
Which, by the way, just as a side comment, Pope, your scheduling of the guests has been on point.
You are.
It's just luck.
Yeah, it's a little creepy.
I know it's luck.
Pope RNG.
You schedule this stuff out like 2 months in advance, 2 to 3 months in advance, and it just so happens to work out where it's like, oh, we have literally the perfect guest every single week. Yeah.
It's the Pope RNG. It knows no limits.
I just get lucky.
Pope RNG with guests.
You got a gift, man.
Yeah.
That's great.
So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the development update primarily. And we're going to go through it kind of bit by bit, and we'll comment on it as we go. So it's going to be a long one. Buckle up.
Joe,
slow down.
Especially John, buckle up.
John. You better buckle.
You know who you are, John.
This was written by Christopher Barrett. So Christopher Barrett, I believe, is the live team lead. Is that right, Pope?
No, he's more than that. He's actually he's got a new title of game director.
Game director. Okay.
So before this, I think he was like the art director for just.
He's moved up in stature. I think his performance and responsibilities. His game
director now.
His role with the live team. I think now game director.
Yeah. Is it that Luke Smith has kind of moved on to Destiny 3 development and Chris Barrett is now in charge of Destiny 2? Don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know.
That's
I
internal
mean,
info.
I think that title gets, there's different people with that title. But that could be it. He may be on to new development cycles, Destiny 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna start off. He kind of says, "Hey, everybody," and then we're just gonna start off with he starts talking about the content categories that we can expect moving forward in Destiny 2.
There is one sentence that I want to in his opening statement that I want to read because it is kind of important. We used to wait to talk about game updates until we were certain we could meet our deadlines to avoid letting players down if we changed our plans. No longer. So keep that in mind with all of this. They're talking about stuff that they're still talking about, which, as far as Bungie goes, that's huge. Yeah, that's a very big change.
But it also means that things could change, especially when we start talking about spring update and beyond.
Fall, yeah.
Yeah. So they start off by talking about the content categories. They talk about expansions are purchasable updates that are typically adding new story, destinations, and gear, as well as new crucible, strikes, and raid lair content. In seasons, the difference is they introduce content that is made available to all players in Destiny 2 at no additional cost. Expansions cost you money. They add story, destinations, gear, crucible, strike, and raid lair content. Seasons add content, but at no additional cost. Iron Banner, faction rallies, and the rewards will be available to anyone to everyone as part of Season 2. Additionally, going forward, we are making a change that new seasonal rewards from Crucible, Strikes, and Trials of the Nine will be available to all players. So you will not have to buy expansion passes to do Crucible, Strikes, and Trials of the Nine and get the rewards from them.
Right.
Yep.
Faction rallies.
Sorry, I personally appreciate this graph. It's a visual learner. This is, if you're listening to the podcast right now, it clearly shows where I think there was a problem in communication of what people's expectations of where seasons were in and what you get in the expansion. I think there was a lot of confusion there. And,
well, it's changed too, right? It's seasonal events after the launch of Curse of Osiris were part of the expansion. Endgame playlists were part of the expansion.
That's right.
Faction rallies, Iron Banner, part of the expansion. You lost access to those, and that has changed now, and that's a good change.
My heart sunk just a little bit when I saw the third graphic on this, the third line, the Eververse graphic. I was like, part of me was just wishing that it was hoping that it wasn't just not going to be there, but we see it there. We see it there.
It is there.
It's there.
Eververse graph.
Faction Rally will return on January 16th, and Iron Banner will be back in the rotation on January 30th. So both of those are going to land in January, although very late in January for Iron Banner.
Yeah, very late.
Then they bust right into the Eververse. So we'll go through these one at a time. Yep. We recognize that the scales are tipped too far towards TES at the moment, and Eververse was never intended to be a substitute for endgame content and rewards. So we'll be making 3 changes for upcoming seasons. We're shifting the balance of new content in favor of activity rewards over bright engrams. This includes adding ghosts, sparrows, and ships to date found only in bright engrams to achievement reward pools.
This is good.
Yeah, I mean,
this is really good.
There's not much else to say about that, right? I mean, yeah, great.
Great.
Great. Put it in the game.
What I expected.
Cool.
But this is exactly what a lot of people were asking.
What we were asking for, yes, and I think it is definitely a sign that Bungie is listening and taking their community's time, and it's almost a sign of respect to the community.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to do
I'm having trouble putting it into words, but
do you think this will be all of the stuff that you can get inside of the Bright Engram, or do you think they will have a select group of things
like the Dawning reward packages were a select portion of what you could possibly get in a Dawning Engram?
I'm hoping they at least put the exotic stuff as rewards. Everyone can get the exotic, because those ghosts actually had an impact on the game. They actually had some pretty good stats. So I'm hoping that exotic stuff goes into the world at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, in my opinion, endgame does mean something that is, worth going after.
Right.
So if I'm going to get a ghost or a sparrow, I want it to be,
And it's not going to fix the end game. Adding ghosts and sparrows and ships as end game rewards, that's not going to fix the end game. But there's more stuff to talk about here.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep.
I just
we'll provide a gameplay path to earn bright engrams and all contained rewards, including event engrams.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to earn the contents of bright engrams through gameplay. We'll give players more direct purchase options and make adjustments to bright engrams to allow players to get the items they want more often. Direct purchase options, I think, is an important note here because a lot of the problem with bright engrams is that they are RNG, and we've seen over the last couple of months several videos and several Reddit posts talking about how expensive it actually is if you want all of the stuff in bright engrams or dawning engrams.
Yeah, absolutely. Like grinding for those as well through earning XP is just the most depressing thing ever. Because you get one, but you already know, like, I'm almost certainly not going to get anything that's really cool from this.
Yeah.
Right. So it's definitely a good change.
Yeah. They go on to talk about the Crimson Days a little bit. We've begun implementing these changes for the Crimson Days event beginning February 13th, with even more changes on the way in Season 3. Completing Nightfall, Raid, Crimson Days milestones during Crimson Days will reward you with an exclusive legendary emote, weapon skin, and exotic sparrow, respectively.
That's cool.
That's good. Yeah.
That's very cool.
That's very good.
You know what you're going to get. Here's what you play. This is what you get. That's what I wanted for a long time.
Yeah.
Players will earn double engrams at level up. One for the Crimson Engram and one illuminated engram for the duration of the event.
That's what it should have been. Like, you play Overwatch when an event is live, you get the event loot boxes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not this. Hey, you got the one thing that you get for the week. Now you're going to get shaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only way for you to get anything is to buy it.
Pretty much what they're saying about Crimson Days is how every event should have been.
Should be.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's still more to this, too. It's not all going to be RNG.
Yep.
Crimson engrams can also drop for completing the Crimson Days match and from completing the Crimson Days milestone on each character.
So I think that's huge.
On
each character?
Yeah, but having them drop in the match, so you could stay in the Crimson Days playlist and grind for those engrams. Like, it should have been that way for the Dawning. You could have stayed in the Strike playlist and grind for Dawning engrams. That would have been... Yeah.
Each Crimson Engram is very strongly weighted to new rewards when decrypted until all the new event items have been obtained.
Thank goodness. I like it.
Yeah, definitely good.
We're kind of all just like, duh. That's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's...
Yeah, exactly.
With the Dawning, you really had no player agency. If you wanted to get the armor, like the Dawning armor or the Dawning Ghost or a Dawning ship, you really had no agency other than to hope that the very few engrams that Bungie gave you were going to give you something you wanted, and then your second choice was go pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
With these changes in the Crimson Days, I'm still not happy that the Eververse is a thing. Like, I just got a sour taste in my mouth about the Eververse as a whole at this point, but it does look like you're going to have a chance to go out and grind for the items that you want out of the Crimson Days event, and that's cool. That's a nice change.
Yeah. It's a nice change.
I think that what they're showing here is they're showing the beginning of where we're hopefully going to be in with the next DLC launch, and where I think that's going to be is less of a weighting of the Eververse store as any part of a loot box system, and I'm hoping that they move away from that completely, and we see the beginnings of it, which are just like a Fortnite store or a Overwatch store where you can go and you buy what you're looking for specifically if that's what you want, and it's purely cosmetic stuff. And then we start getting to see all this exotic things into the game with end game earned activities. So right now this seems like a quick fix to start it off with, but we're going to see it developed more into actual content, like we were talking about the Black Spindle. And I think we're going to get into that later, but activities where you're going to go out and seek in-game and get this unique reward. So this is the beginning of what I'm hoping will be a much more involved system of loot in game.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's
Definitely.
a reason for me to engage with the end game. The Nightfall, the raid, the Crimson
True.
Days event. This is going to drive my engagement with the game, the end game, because I want some of that Crimson Days rewards. I'm still not happy about the Eververse, but this is a step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I'm glad they added like raid, nightfall,
Yeah.
like all of those different things as well this time.
Yeah.
So you could
Right,
really
yeah.
be doing anything. So
Yeah, you can
It's
play
cool.
what you want and you can get rewards for the event that's happening. It's like the whole world has this event that's going on and you can
Right,
do what
yeah.
you want during that event to get the stuff that you want. So I'm happy with the way that events are going to be done going forward. This makes me
Definitely.
feel much happier than the Dawning or
Yep.
anything like that.
Yeah.
Way better this way.
Next, they talk about the XP rates. They're kind of like they're addressing this in order of controversy.
yeah.
We're still investigating changes to XP earn rates. Our goal with any updates to XP are transparency and consistent XP gain regardless of your preferred activity. Right now, it's too slow in general and lopsided toward grinding specific activities, which is not a fun grind, and we want to fix that without making those activities low value to players who aren't grinding them. Fairness is cool. Our first attempt turned out to be unworkably buggy, so we're having to investigate other angles. We will continue to update as we move forward. So no fix yet. They're looking at it still. They tried something. It didn't work. They're going to keep working on
They
it.
agree that it
Okay.
takes too long to get XP to get an engram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like them talking to us about it, because
Yeah.
the old Bungie wouldn't have said a damn thing until they had a fix.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
And there is a key piece of this though. That's going to be part of how we get these engrams, right? These Crimson Days rewards is through that rank up process. Once we get that one through the milestone, right?
Yeah.
So this is important for them to work out soon.
Yeah.
Feature roadmap. So now they're going to start talking about dates and what's coming on those dates. There are 3 releases that we want to put on your radar right now. Later releases will be more specific as dates get closer. January 30th, they are introducing Masterwork Armor. So this is a pretty big request once we saw the Masterwork weapons. We're expanding the Masterwork system to include armor. Masterwork Armor provides increased damage reduction while using your super. You can reroll the armor stat on Masterwork Armor, and similar to Masterwork weapons, you can upgrade a piece of armor to Masterwork by spending Masterwork cores and legendary shards.
So I want to know the specific number for how much less damage you take both in PvE and PvP.
Right.
Right.
Because, does having that Masterwork armor make a really big difference in PvP?
And does it stack if you have 4 pieces of
does it
Masterwork
stack?
armor?
Yeah,
Question.
I would hope so.
I would hope it stacks.
I would hope it stacks, but yeah, I definitely want more. I want more specifics on what that exactly does. Also, does re-rolling mean we get to re-roll recovery
Right.
and all that stuff?
Can I remove an ability, or is that just always going to be
That's
there?
that I didn't consider that. That'd be really awesome.
Yeah.
If putting a Masterwork in there, you get the benefit of damage reduction, and also you can actually re-roll those 3 stats right there. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
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 This goes back to, I'm not seeing it. This is just an entry level, just like the entry level for the Masterworks on guns. We need to see there needs to be more variety.
I agree.
With
Yeah.
we're getting
yeah.
Masterwork armor. The armor reduces incoming damage. While it seems like that's like a safe,
Super
foot in.
safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
just like a
Is that not
shooting
exciting
something.
to you? Taking less damage, Pope?
Boost damage and meme
just-
striding.
I'm
Remember
just saying that this is a really
Is that not the
this
most
is a really
exciting
safe-
exotic?
this is a really safe jump or walk into the water. I was hoping that maybe we can see out of these Masterwork armor pieces more of that power fantasy element where it gives us some cool stuff that we can do and
Yes.
make our stuff
Yeah.
exciting
Yeah.
again.
It'd be cool to
exciting again.
working towards armor stuff's going to be cool because people talk about fixed weapon rolls and everything like that, but for me, running raids, especially in Age of Triumph, it was all about getting that armor, right? Having a full set of VOG stuff, with good stats or if you got tier 12, that'd be insane, obviously, but like, and all those perks. That was like a real big part of the chase for me.
Yeah.
Like equal to weapons, like easily, you know. So
and we talked about
glad
this.
that it's kind of.
We talked about this last week. Masterworks could be something reflected on some of the artifacts that we saw from D1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So those are examples of what Masterwork armor could be when we re-rolled it. It could have the chance of becoming a PvE or PvP. You know, you could either re-roll as a PvP or re-roll as a PvE. And they offer different types of things. Like you could Masterwork an armor piece and have it when you melee a thrall or a red bar enemy, it turns into your ally for a short period of time.
So you're saying in addition to rerolling the stats, you'd actually be rerolling that perk that
Correct.
gives you
like orb
increased
generation or
right.
Yeah,
So what we want to
I
have is excitement when you get that awesome piece of armor or gun, right?
Mhm.
And there needs to be more variety and opportunities for that. So incoming damage reduction is a safe first step, but I'd like to see some of those crazy perks come in for the PvE and side of it at least.
They're reworking mods though. Mods 2.0 has the potential to become those crazy perks that we're expecting that Masterworks might be, because they just down the road they also say that they're revising mods coming out of Eververse because they don't want to be close to pay to win. And that sounds like to me that we might actually get some serious perks in those mods.
some meaningful mods. Yeah.
Yeah, like
for
maybe,
sure.
just maybe, there might be like a Firefly perk in a weapon that you could add as a mod. That would blow my mind.
Yeah, maybe.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Right.
Or
That'd be amazing.
yeah, or actual armor stat type of perks.
And let me be clear, what I was talking about right there was my hopes for where Masterworks would go. We're reading this and I was just commenting off. That is not what they're saying here. They're saying that Masterwork armor right now has the armor reduces incoming damage.
Yeah. I was hoping that
super.
there would be more options than just incoming damage reduce for your super. But it looks like they're trying to play it as safe as possible right now.
Right.
To get the system going.
Raid reward rework. We're updating raid rewards to make them more unique and interesting. They will now feature mods with raid-specific perks, and we are adjusting the rewards to ensure a raid item drops from each major encounter. The raid vendor will also directly sell Leviathan and Eater of Worlds armor and weapons for purchase with raid tokens and legendary shards.
I mean,
huge.
It's it's what we wanted from our raid experience, right? There's nothing more disheartening than going through an encounter and being like, guys, I got tokens. Like you don't feel rewarded for your time as a player, right? You don't at all. It's way more exciting to get an item to drop.
Tokens. No. This addresses the weakness of tokens, right? They're such a terrible main drop, but if used correctly, they can help your bad RNG out, right? And this is exactly what they're going to do. If you have bad RNG going through the raid, you can't get that midnight coup. You save up some raid tokens, and you can buy it because your RNG sucks.
Yeah, but you're still getting rewarded after each encounter, which is really good.
This type of change isn't meant for the type of player that we generally are, where we're going to grind the raid every single week for that thing that we want. This type of change is meant for the player that isn't necessarily going to be able to grind as much as us, or maybe they can't do the full raid every single week, so they have less chances just to get stuff, but they have an abundance of tokens. It is a type of player that isn't getting rewarded, so they're trying to make sure that person can also have the loot that they want. So if you're the type of player that's going, oh, I already have everything, trust me, there's a shit ton of people that don't have everything. Right. So this is another. This is good for those people.
I also wonder, like, are our current gear going to get modified, or will we have to go back into the raid to get the new gear?
Fucking hope it's gonna get modified.
Yeah, I hope so. Can you imagine you got like this full set and then it doesn't have any of the perks that you want on it? That'd be so sad.
It'd be interesting, like, because they say feature mods with raid specific perks, but do you think those mods will actually be like individually like assignable mods? Could they have like raid mods drop in the raid, or are these going to be on pieces of armor and like that's the mod that comes on that piece of armor?
It's a good question.
I'm not sure.
I kind of read it as if that they're going to drop mods also potentially. Because I think that would be interesting to have drops as mods as well. I'll be honest.
Definitely. I don't read it like that. I read it as they will now feature mods with raid specific perks. Like no armor will feature mods with raid specific perks.
Yeah,
so. I think Houndish. I think
we're said it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what Houndish is talking about, and I think what they're saying is that you're going to get a mod to drop that you can apply to your armor or raid gun.
I didn't get mod, just thing added to, like perk added to.
Yeah,
weapon.
that's kind of how I read it. I kind of read it as it was just going to be on the raid armor, not a mod that you can take and put on like other armor.
Yeah,
right.
They will now feature mods, new idea with raid specific perks.
Yeah, we're updating raid rewards to make them more unique and interesting. They will now feature mods with raid specific perks. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's specifically armor with perks installed in them.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't mean that. No.
Yeah.
I would love
It'll
to
be interesting
like,
to see what this does mean.
mods.
I mean,
it's coming January 30th, so we can just probably wait for it.
It's not that long, yeah.
Let's
not
go.
that long.
I think we need to, highlight that there's some confusion here, right? What is it? What do they mean?
I think it would be a good thing to have like raid mods drop in the raid.
That'd be huge.
Ultimately, that'd be. I think that'd be a cool way to do it. Yeah,
it'd be interesting because if they weren't specific to a piece too, like if you wanted to like get all the same mod and like max out your armor with all the same mod and it stacks as opposed to having like 4 different mods on each piece of armor, like that'd be fun. That'd be a more fun way to do it, I think. Assuming that the mods are good.
Yeah. And it's generally good for like itemization, as they say as well. It's another thing to drop, isn't it? Like,
Mm-hmm. So
cool. I like it.
So I'll be honest. I don't know if I really like the fact that they're going to sell all the armor and the raid stuff with tokens from the vendor.
And legendary shard stuff too.
Oh no, my tooth! It's the big lure to raid in D1 was the fact that things were rare. And if you're going to reduce it to where, I'm just missing the boots, I might as well just take these tokens I just got and buy those boots. I get that it fits a casual perspective, but part of that excitement for raiding and what got people to raid a lot was the chase. And that is like a reduction right there. Suddenly the chase has been reduced heavily for anybody in the raid, unless you only get those mods that drop in the raid and they're actually the real thing that matter.
It says armor and weapons for purchase with raid tokens and legendary shards.
Yep.
Armor and weapons.
So that's actually interesting. So if it is raid mods that drop and you have no way to buy them, that might actually be the thing that is more important than getting the armor and the weapon. They may be going to a direction what we talked about earlier this year on the podcast is just, hey, what if we had these activities where their specific activities dropped specific mods that would benefit that specific type of gameplay, right? So you would have to go out and get them, and you'd go there and you'd get to adjust your favorite piece of armor or your favorite.
As long as it's not +5 attack and it's actually interesting, then I'm gonna be down for that.
Sure.
But if it's like, you're the Cabal are slightly less aware of you in the same room, I'm gonna be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
This has got to be interesting.
Every Cabal you kill drops heavy ammo.
It also depends how many tokens.
Can we possibly move on from this? Because we have spent a lot of time on this one.
Well, I mean, it's an important one.
It's important,
I know, but there's also a lot of other important shit. In this
we got time.
All right.
We're also adding a new ghost with raid-specific perks that has a chance to drop from the Leviathan in either of World's final encounters. We intend to return to creating more raid and other activity-unique rewards in the future. This was dumbfounding that this wasn't shipped in vanilla. Like, dumbfounding. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Okay, great. I'm glad you put it in.
Briar, as our chat has noted tonight, that you could say that about just about everything. That's also the hindsight is 2020 pessimistic view that I really fucking hate having. So anyway.
Yeah, but
but it's like I always say, right? Well, what else could Bungie have done? Made a time machine, gone back and redid Destiny 2? Because
there you go.
The only thing they can do right now is address people's concerns and put stuff in the game that people want. They can't go back and change what they did. So
no, that's true.
They're doing stuff that we wanted.
Updating it.
Yeah.
And I like that it drops from the final encounter too, which means that it's got that little bit more of prestige to it because you have to complete the final encounter.
If it's rare, like the raid ship from Wrath of the Machine, like it could keep people going back week after week after week.
Mm-hmm.
That was
definitely
a problem. So that's it for January, right? Some big stuff, masterwork, raid, reward, rework, but that's it for January. Next, we're moving into February. Strike scoring and high score tracking. This is actually pretty cool. So
this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, strike scoring is coming to Nightfall and replacing the current time limit mechanic.
No.
Scoring is similar to the Destiny 1 system, but with adjustments to emphasize competitive execution of strike objectives and support for player selectable score modifiers. In February, Nightfall high scores will be exposed in-game via new emblems and will unlock rewards. We also have plans for a clan and community high score list in the works.
It's cool.
I like that.
I'm about to become a PvE player.
Strike scoring
PvE.
was this is what Destiny 2 could have done with like strike scoring, right? So we're seeing Destiny 1 had strike scoring in its basic element, and you build and expand on it, Destiny 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that this type of approach where, player selectable mods, freaking cool. Leaderboards on it, or not a leaderboards, but a way of showing off what your high score, freaking cool.
Yep.
And rewards.
And then the
you're
reward
gonna get
system
rewards
on it
for being the most optimal DPS.
I hope the rewards are good. I hope they're similar to the strike specific rewards in Destiny 2 and Destiny 1. That's what I'm really hoping.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a chance at a legendary engram. I want a strike specific reward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The rewards have to make sense. The strike scoring is always fun. Like that arcade feel in any game. You have something that's regular, and then you throw that arcade aspect into it. It immediately adds another layer of fun to it, and which is one of the big reasons why everybody was like, "Hey, why'd they take away in D1? That was so fun. You could challenge for the score and so on and so forth." And bringing in the Masterwork orbs gave like a mini sub game of strike scoring, where it was like, who's going to make the most orbs? You throw on your Better Devils, your Midnight Coup, and let's see who's going to get the most orbs out of it. And it was fun to try to best each other in that scoring. So I hope that has like a really nice expanse into what strikes could be, because I think the strikes in D2 are actually a lot of fun. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm
a little bit hesitant about losing the time limit because I liked the time limit mechanic as opposed to Nightfalls, especially in year 1, where you'd basically just sit at the edge of the map and in a high place and snipe down at things, and if you ran out of ammo, you could wait for your ammo to get refilled. I like that there is a sense of urgency to the Nightfalls now. Like that is fun to me. So I'm a little scared about losing that in Nightfalls, because I actually enjoy Nightfalls now.
Yeah, you can't kind of play scared in the Nightfall anymore, really, can you? Which is definitely nice. I'm glad they're adding strike scoring to the Nightfall, like specifically as well, because like outside of modifiers, was there strike scoring in Nightfalls? D1?
Yeah, there was. There was a Nightfall where you had to.
Right.
There was a Nightfall that, or there was the weekly quest that you had to do to get a certain score and complete it within a certain amount of time. And the time was like 30 minutes, so who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. I think it's cool though. I hope they roll that out to like heroic strikes and stuff later on once they have. I'm guessing like because they're putting modifiers in and stuff, so they probably need to tune all that as they go, I guess. But
yeah, I'm expecting them to add it to heroics, because that's where you can just like chill and have fun if those features are in there.
Yeah.
I am sad to see the timer go, because that is a very enticing mechanic to someone who wants to take it as seriously as I would like to. I know, but then there's like a whole lot more players that really don't like it. So
competitive
to that one.
PvE, Patrick.
I know. Competitive
Get your
PvE.
fancy ass
I know.
emblem.
We already
Shove
have
your
it where we're
EP
trying to
around.
complete
It'll
it
be
with like
great.
the least amount of time available, and now it's like, oh no, it's time plus points and all. Time was such
but
an
it's
easy.
super competitive.
Honestly,
If they could tie the point system to time, right? It's like the faster
Exactly.
you do stuff, the more points you get.
yeah.
I mean,
that would be
let's
cool.
let's be honest here. The DCP crew is going to destroy any numbers that
Yeah.
math class can put up
Yeah.
on these strikes. I mean, let's be honest here. They don't know what they're doing, right? We're gonna get
Sorry,
in
you
there.
broke up there, Pope. I didn't hear.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Does anybody miss?
Nado,
Anybody miss
whenever
getting
you're
kicked
ready,
to orbit?
try hard strikes.
Yeah, I do miss getting
I miss
kicked to
like
orbit.
I would prefer having getting kicked to orbit in year one than the timer personally. So that way
that was a huge bitch session for Destiny Year 1 players, but I always thought it was awesome because it added a sense of like
hell yeah.
threat. Like you really didn't want to be, if you're the last man alive in your fire team, you really didn't want to die.
You didn't want to screw
because
it
that
up.
been starting at the beginning.
Yep.
And like that is gone. Nightfall's year 2, year 3, and on. They got a lot less dangerous. They got a lot less stressful, and I miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nightfalls in year 1 felt like in-game content, and they never did again after that.
It's true. Yeah. I also didn't really want to play Nightfalls that often anymore when I couldn't get kicked. When I couldn't like solo it.
Part of
and
that
have
too was the
that I might get
motivation,
kicked.
though, right? You lost the motivation to do a Nightfall when the exotics became so easy to get.
Oh yeah,
Because
with 3
Nightfalls
coins.
in year
That's
1
very true.
were very much a major
kinda
place
had
to get
to.
exotics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wanted to try and get all those exotics, you had to do the Nightfall.
Yeah. And then the number 1 drop became the Vanguard shell, right? Like pretty much
Yeah.
like every Nightfall
Yeah.
after the Taken King. Here's another
Yeah.
Vanguard shell.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
fun.
All right, so we mentioned this earlier. Mods 2.0 work is underway on a full rework of armor and weapon mods. This will focus on reducing redundant mods, more unique theming, and greatly increasing their impact on your power. We're aiming for a February release, but the scope of the rework could push parts or all of it out to early spring.
Perfect.
We will be evaluating how mods play into the Bright Engram economy as a result, because we're sensitive to pay-to-win outcomes.
I mean, this is good.
Yeah.
But obviously, we don't know anything about it. Yeah, but hearing they're completely reworking it, and then, like we talked about before, that they don't want it to be an Eververse. Well, they have to think about it being an Eververse. Is exciting. So that means it might actually impact the game.
I'm telling
Greatly
you.
increasing the impact on your power,
That
I think,
is
is
it right there.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Agreed.
the key part right there. If they hold true to that.
Yep.
And when I think of the power fantasy, I think of what space magic and what I'm missing from the excitement of playing Destiny right now. It's that.
I'm telling you, if
Yeah.
I could put a Firefly, not Dragonfly. Dragonfly is garbage. We're talking about Firefly level explosion mod into my masterwork Midnight Coup. It would have Rampage, Outlaw, and Firefly. I'd be like, you know what? Fatebringer was
That'd be
fun,
awesome.
but this thing's badass.
In armor too, like if we could get mods that greatly increase our power in PvP, this could impact PvP in a pretty big way.
True.
Like one of the disappointments for me in this list of things is that how long it's going to take for real changes to come to the Crucible. Not because I don't like the Crucible, because there's like 4 people playing it, and it takes me 20 minutes to find a match.
Yeah.
It's tough right now. It's rough goings right now.
Yeah. So while we're not going to see anything like directly regarding the Crucible until spring, if the mods can significantly increase our power before then in February, that could be, a small step in the right direction for the Crucible too.
I do like the statement that we're evaluating how mods play in the Bright Engram economy as a result, because sensitive to pay-to-win outcomes. I'm really hoping it's just remove them. Like you don't have to
Yeah,
they
evaluate
probably will.
anything.
Yeah.
Just fucking
Literally.
remove them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then you can have full, you can go full bore into making these things actually meaningful, which players want.
Yep.
And I don't think they have a plan for that, because if you look at the graphic at the top, well, I guess boons could be interpreted as something else.
No,
But
boons are the things
yeah,
that you
that's true.
XP
Yeah.
boosters.
entirely different.
Yeah, got it.
Because, yeah.
I thought I'd said boons. And
Yeah, like Crucible rewards, Vanguard rewards, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Quick play improvements. We're adjusting the game mode rules to increase the pace of gameplay and power ammo acquisition in quick play.
That's
This
good.
is
Thank you.
interesting.
Thank you.
It's very
There's a lot of
interesting.
interpretation in this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is super vague.
What did you read out of it, Watts?
Initially, I was like, are they just going to give everyone like rockets? So it's going to be like everyone just shooting rockets all over the place. Guys, it's faster paced now. You died in one shot wearing a rocket. Oh, it's so exciting. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, no, it's probably not just more heavy ammo. I don't know what it is, but the fact that they said they're wanting to change the pace is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
More power ammo would definitely increase the pace of play.
It would increase the pace.
People who prefer shotgun, run around with shotguns, sniper rifles, fusion rifles.
Yeah.
Like if there's more power ammo on the map, they're going to be able to do that more.
And if they make it so it drops when you kill them.
Make more plays with it.
Yeah, like it did in Mayhem.
Yeah.
What
do you think about
what would they do the game rules?
Yeah, that's
The
what I was
game
just going to ask.
okay,
What game rules would increase pace of play?
The rule is supremacy no longer comes up in the playlist.
I'd be okay with that.
Right.
Okay.
I second
Solid, okay with that. Jokes
Game
aside,
mode rules, though. Seriously.
Yeah, jokes aside. Jeez, I almost haven't played enough PvP to really feel like I know what the problem is right now. Because I'm so fucking.
Do you know
But it's
why
the
you don't
sandbox,
know
though.
what the problem is?
It's-
It's because
It's
not.
the sandbox is the problem.
It's
100%
not
sandbox.
one giant thing. It's a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
That's why you can't pinpoint what your huge problem is. Because I really feel it's not just the time to kill. It's not just the maps. It's not just the 4v4. I feel like it's a tiny bit of everything that needs
It's
to be
the
adjusted.
entire sandbox.
It's the entire, the entire sandbox
I mean,
needs to be changed.
If you had 3-tap hand cannons, slightly faster speed for moving, and you got your super back and your grenades back slightly faster, not D1 levels, but just enough
a
to
little
make
bit
it.
of everything.
Yeah, like it's like Mayhem Light. Too many calories in Mayhem. Try Mayhem Light.
Yeah. That's it.
I know they're not able to do it in February. But I was hoping that we would see more, because I know they're not talking about sandbox here.
They're not.
Which
No.
I got something prepared for that.
I'm with you, Pope. I was really hoping to see something for the sandbox in January. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, the state of
I
the
was
Crucible
hoping
right
to.
now is dire, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you
people
enjoy
reacted.
playing it, there's so few people there that it's like,
Same.
what the fuck?
I
The way people
decided-
reacted in Mayhem is an example.
Yeah, this is kind of the first week where Mayhem left, and I was like, I think I'm just gonna skip Called Arms this week.
I'm trying to grind the ornament for the helmet, which is 25 wins in competitive.
Oh gosh, you won't find anyone in competitive.
There's nobody there, man. It's
There's
literally
no
like I
one.
queue up and wait for 5 to 10 minutes.
Wow.
And like I'm not like a Crucible All-Star that's at the top of the the skill rankings. I'm at the very fucking bottom, like plebbing my way around the map, doing stupid shit and talking to chat. Like I'm not hard to skill-based matchmake with.
Nobody's playing.
So nobody's there. It's just nobody's playing.
I'm hoping that see that for us to experience some of this stuff, like a sandbox change, and I know they got to do it right. I know they do, and it takes time to work through and test. But man, a sandbox change would have been really great at the latest February, and it looks like it's not coming until spring, right?
Season 3.
Season
Yeah.
3.
They gotta fail fast, in my opinion. I know that they have this philosophy of wanting to make sure it's perfect before they get it out there, but it's honestly affecting them negatively way more than it's benefiting them at this point. And
Yeah.
if people just were like, "Whoa, that's wrong. You shouldn't have done that way," and then they changed it back quick or changed it to another way fast, then at least movement's happening. And I'm not the developer, so I get it. The process is a lot more difficult and so on and so forth. But from our perspective, this needing to get it right first for 5 months after the game is launched is killing the game. People don't want to play the Crucible for that.
They don't.
I'm just gonna go ahead and read this now. I'm skipping ahead because when they basically talk about the sandbox, but they don't talk about it. They've discussed everything basically aside from like prestige rewards in this entire thing. Got pipeline stuff's coming through the pipeline for most of the issues, but we need to hear about the sandbox changes. I was really hoping to hear more about them on that, because it's the one aspect that ties just everything together for all of these changes. None of this really matters, in my opinion, unless we start hearing about that sandbox changes. And the fact that we have to wait until season 3 to start hearing about these just crucial changes, that's concerning me, especially.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna move.
We had the statement. Brian, please, I'm almost done. We had the statement. They said we're gonna talk about game updates. Or like, we used to wait until we talk about game updates until we were certain we could meet our deadlines to avoid letting players down if we changed our plans. No longer. That statement, the top of this whole thing from Chris, and then we got no specific bullet points really from Sandbox. Like we need, like, I don't want to know what the exact changes are. I get it. It's far way out, but I need to know that you guys are hearing us on the pain points. I saw the things about exotics. Okay. That's really easy to see. I saw like a really
jumping so far ahead here, Patrick. Can we,
I know I am, but just let
him go, bro.
I think we can just talk about the sandbox things we were discussing.
Well, can we finish up February, and then, because as soon as we get into spring, that's when we get to the sandbox stuff.
Just
you have a vague thing about archetypes, and that's basically it as far as sandbox goes. We have nothing in regards to like stats like mobility, recovery, armor being mentioned. We have nothing about the like specifics of what about archetypes. The slow rate of fire ones are an issue. Just say that. Like, that's all we need to hear. There are so many specific things with the sandbox that could have been addressed in very broad terms that leave it open-ended to what the changes could be, but we just need to know what the pain points are. And that's what this entire thing that we're discussing right now is about. But the crucial thing is the sandbox. And it's just basically absent from this entire thing, which is why I'm really, really harping on this. Because that's, you'd hear a lot less negativity from the community, and you'd have a lot of stuff that we could finally just say good on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think we don't even need to hear about, okay, guys, we're going to be changing this and this and this and this. Just acknowledge what you think the problems are. Like, I've heard your feedback. We also think that maybe, the time to kill is too slow, or that matches are not moving at the pace that we'd like. Just some kind of acknowledgement of issues that the PvP community has had.
Even if they're not ready to finalize that stuff, it'd be nice if they opened it up to the community for discussion.
Yeah.
So that, okay, we're going to wait till spring to make these changes, but let's have an open discussion about what the changes we're making are. Because, I feel like like Patrick says, it is like the most important thing, especially to Crucible players. Like, the Crucible players are leaving this game in droves, and the Crucible is
already left
basically
in
a dead place. Yeah.
I honestly, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's just kind of like, it's completely stale, isn't it? Like, and it's the exact same problem. Like, well, it's not the exact same problem, but it's a problem we've seen in the past, and like nothing has changed. And we heard a lot about like how they'd be able to address, things differently in Destiny 2. And we're not seeing the payoff, are we? And like, there's like the element of discovery as well, even like, just when you get a sandbox update, that was one of my favorite things in Destiny 2. Just grabbing a bunch of stuff that you think or looks like is going to be good, and then just going through it. That was so much fun. And I think sometimes Bungie just got to be a little bit less afraid of like screwing something up.
Yeah,
it's like Prometheus Lens. Like, it caused an issue while it was there. It was kind of intolerable in its own right, but like at the same time, it was there was like a moment of fun there, right? And as long as you address those things quickly enough, and that was like an extreme case anyway, really. It just shouldn't be allowed to get so stale. Definitely for PvP in this game as well. It's just bad news, considering like there isn't the progression there for Crucible right now either. Yeah. So it's like
this will be 6 months with the same sandbox by the time season 3 comes.
I mean, that's
6 months.
That's basically
It's a
D1.
long time.
That's basically D1.
Yeah,
and weren't we kind of like I had understood it that with every season we were going to get a change to the sandbox that was going to flip things around a little bit. And I don't know that it's the thing is that I feel like Destiny 2 is balanced in a way that Destiny 1 never was, where like every weapon is kind of viable, but it also creates a situation where what are you doing with a sandbox change? Are you adjusting everything to make a faster time to kill, which is what a lot of players want? Is your sandbox change just trying to rebalance weapons to make it more prominent, but you don't actually adjust the overall time to kill for everything? Are you adjusting the sandbox so that there's more power ammo around so that creates a faster environment? Like, there's a lot that could be changed. And I think that the community would like to be involved in that conversation, even if that change is going to come farther down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's also just, like you said, opening the communication up to the community, because we're going to hear about the changes they're going to bring to the Crucible right before they come out. Whereas if they did it now, you could have the community be like, well, I don't really know if that's what I want. Maybe we could add this and we could just talk about it.
Especially when we have to wait so long between these changes, because we waited so long to hear for this first change. Yes. And then we got, I'm not insulting the devs here, but we got what they said was a very safe bet when we didn't need a safe bet.
Right.
And
it's time again, for them to take some risks.
Safe bet is killing the game.
Let's be honest. It's
too many
time for them
safe
to take
bets.
risks.
Too many safe bets have just given us the game that we have now. And the one thing that Mayhem has proven is players don't want to fucking play it safe. They want to do stupid.
They want to go in.
We
They
don't
want to
want
be crazy.
Yeah, we don't want fair and balanced. We want.
We didn't fall in love with Destiny 1 because it was fair and balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, it's true.
We have this extremely balanced, well stood up PvP that nobody wants to go to because they feel like it's the doctor's office. They're like, why am I going to go to the dentist? Nobody wants to go there. I'm going to go have fun in this like theme park that's unbalanced.
Yeah, but I personally want, when they do adjust the sandbox, and if they do reduce the time to kill across the board to make it a faster environment, I do want balance. Like, I do want to be able to go in there with any type of weapon and expect success. I don't want a Destiny 1 situation where I understand that, but I don't see the balance as a bad thing. I see that the time to kill is just too long across the board, creating a situation where I could sneak up behind two guys who are shooting at my enemies, and I start shooting one guy, and by the time they realize that, they could both turn around and kill me before I could kill the first guy. Like, that's a problem for me, whereas the time to kill reduction would definitely change that. But if they kept, I'd also like to see balance remain, so that, like, if you adjust it so that there's a 3-shot hand cannon, like that's the new time to kill. Well, then auto rifles, pulse rifles, every submachine guns, everything's got to be adjusted to be balanced with that 3-shot.
I hear you on that, Briar.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I think it comes back to what Watt said. There is no single thing that's going to fix it. It's all these components that are pointing against each other. Then they all have to be adjusted at the same time.
But I think the biggest part of this is that, and Patrick brings it up, we're going to continue talking about all these points. They're very important to the progression of Destiny 2 to a game that we want. But it's a little frustrating at this point, despite all this information that we're getting, and it's really great changes. Don't get me wrong. I really love the stuff that they're putting in there. But Patrick's point is, at the heart of it, is that the Sandbox team should have had a piece of this. And I know that may have been asking too much, but what we're asking isn't for what you're exactly doing, but what you also see as our reflected pain points. What you agree are,
we've given you the data.
Right. So your marching orders that you're going to be looking at are you're going to be addressing these things. And I think that would have been huge.
Yeah.
So
it would have been a very, very big deal for them to just let us know what you let us know you agree with us on some points. Let us know that you disagree. Let us know why. What do you want from the Crucible? Like, give me some kind of information.
The only information that I really have about their thought process comes from the interview that they did with Crucible Radio a few months ago. And like, that's not like, that interview is super informative and a really good interview and definitely worth watching or listening to. But it doesn't give me any insight about the future at all, right? Like, because, and that's what I want. That's what I'd like to know is, like, what do you guys, like, is there hope for the Crucible?
Yeah.
Like, is there, like, is this something that is worth, like, is it even worth me, like, putting in time in the Crucible, or should I be looking for something else? Because Crucible is just such a secondary thing that, Destiny 2 is a PvE game, and if you want to go fuck around in the Crucible a little bit, good, but it's not. I don't know. Like, there's more changes coming to the Crucible. We're kind of skipping around a lot
We can
major
get back
changes
into
coming.
the actual. Like, we can get back into
Should we
the
finish
actual.
up,
I'm really sorry.
February?
Yeah,
all right.
we're
All right,
on
so
PC
next
Tower
up for
Chat.
February, PC Tower Chat. We're adding text chat to the Tower for the PC version of the game.
Yay.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm glad that feature that I thought was going to be there day one is coming. Awesome.
Exotic repetition reduction. This will prevent players from receiving the same exotic twice in a row. You may still receive duplicates, just not consecutively.
So just save all your engrams all at once and turn them all in, and hopefully you won't get a duplicate.
Is it sad that my mind immediately went to great? Now I'm going to get like one exotic, then a different one. I'm just going to go
And
through
then the
going
same
back
one.
A and B,
And then the
A
same.
A and
That's
B,
what I
A
thought
and
too,
B.
actually. Yeah.
That's funny.
Fireteam members on a destination map. This is a cool change. You will finally be able to see the other members of your fireteam on the destination map. No more having to ask your fireteam where they went when they fast travel to another landing zone. This is a nice
Love
quality
it.
of life change. Yeah.
That's what a map is for, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the map is for that, exactly.
I'm so glad they're doing that.
Maps also have compasses. It would be great if we could get that incorporated some sort of way. In the radar.
Yeah,
Just
compass
kinda-
in there?
I would like a compass. I'm a Boy Scout, please.
What would a compass do for you?
Yeah.
Hey, over on the north side of the zone.
In the north
He
to
just
top of the
wants to
map?
get his Fortnite
Go
on,
play
I guess.
Fortnite.
He
Jesus.
loves yelling out
Wow.
northeast corner.
195.
There's
195.
There's a thrall at your 185.
Oh, are you talking about a compass in the heads-up display or are you on the map?
Like compass on, like I guess almost on the radar. I don't know how. Like some way to say where I am in the zone to the other players too. I don't know. I know you can just pull up your map, but maybe you don't want to pull up the map. You can just say, "Hey, I'm north this way." I don't know. It's a stupid thing that's only going to apply to people that play with other people. So it's not like a high priority, but whatever.
All right. So the next
Actually-
changes are coming in spring 2018. I'm just going to read this. We're taking the time we need in development of expansion 2 that will allow us to react to player feedback from Curse of Osiris. In the coming months, we'll talk to you more about what you can expect to find in Destiny 2's next story. The team is eager to show you what we've been working on. Independent of Expansion 2, the team will deliver a number of new features that will be released before or during Season 3. Every player of Destiny 2 will receive new content in the following categories. So they're going to talk a lot about what's coming in Season 3, but I do think it's worth talking about the next expansion. I kind of feel like they're separating the expansion from Season 3 in that it may be getting pushed back. Is that how you guys
no.
read that?
What I'm reading here as these changes are coming with the season, so you don't need to pay for it. That's how I'm
That's
taking
what I'm
Yeah.
reading.
this.
Yeah.
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 That's how I took it too.
But I mean, they say we're taking the time we need in development of Expansion 2. You guys not hearing like maybe it's not coming with Season 3? Maybe it's not coming in March?
I'll be honest. I always thought that the second expansion was going to be a March to May window. I never thought it would be on the point with a new season.
Okay. Curse of Osiris, I feel like might have set that expectation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I feel like, I don't know. For me, it was because, PC launched and it was also 3 months after console. I knew Curse of Osiris was coming. I don't expect them to do a DLC every season, personally.
No, definitely not. I'd be happy for them to delay the next expansion for sure if they feel like delaying it would improve it in significant ways.
And on top of that, for actual content consumption, it would actually be better to have Season 3 hit. You have these changes, you chase your ornaments, so on and so forth. And then, a new DLC that's like end of April or May or something like that.
Curse of Osiris was not received really positively, I feel like, by the community.
Not at all.
And based on that player feedback, it'd be nice if Bungie was, okay, let's make some changes before we release this. Maybe March is a little too early. Mm-hmm. But when we had Fran Maribel on, he really scared me at saying, like, Activision's not going to let them push that back. This isn't language saying either way, really, but it does, to me, maybe it leaves that door open.
Well, anytime in Q2, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Which would be March to June. Or May.
All right, so Crucible, we want to give players new reasons to play, more variety and balance improvements. Spring will bring a number of exciting and long-awaited features to the Crucible. Crucible Rank. Beginning with Season 3, we'll introduce seasonal Crucible ranks. There will be 2 different ranks for players to pursue. Valor, a progression rank that goes up as you complete matches. Winning helps you move up faster, but there are no loss penalties. And Glory, a progression rank that goes up when you win and down when you lost. Performance is how you move up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 ranks. Valor is kind of cumulative. You just keep adding to it the more you play. Glory is more based on your performance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of questions because is this our ranked play? If so,
Sounds like it.
It is not ranked play because there's no ranked playlist. There's no mention of rewards. There's no anything like that. If it is our ranked play, then I feel like there's a lot that they need to add information-wise. Like when you get to certain ranks, do you unlock certain pieces of armor or an emote or shader or whatever? And they really need to tie stuff to the ranks. Otherwise, this is like the most watered down version of a ranked system that you could possibly have.
Also, is skill-based matchmaking tied to your rank? Like, will you be put into rank play against people of your own rank?
There's a
if
lot
you
of
look at the image, it's got like all of their ranks, so they have all of their ranks on their little emblem thing, and then on the left it has, I guess, what the game is thinking their rank is.
Legend
look at
rank.
the
You think
image-
that's the name?
Maybe it's matching based on that number. I could see that being a thing.
Well, it's matching on the highest person.
It is matching on the highest person. Yes.
Because
Maybe a legend
if
is
you're listening to this, there's 4 people in the lobby of the competitive playlist that they've snapped a photo of, and it's their scores, their ranks, their valor ranks are 4,235.
Yeah.
5,425, 5,000. The highest ranked one is 5,500, and the legend shows 5,500.
But isn't that the person that we're actually looking at? Like that's their screen moves the needle.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah,
that's probably their valor score on there.
It's just seems like it's just like they put ELO in game. If there's nothing tied to it, it's like, okay, guys, instead of going to this website to look at your ELO, it's all good.
Do you get the impression though that it's going to be strictly the competitive playlist? The Ghost Town playlist is going to be the rank playlist?
Oh, they're not talking about.
I really.
They're not talking about.
There's nothing about a playlist, right?
There's nothing about a playlist.
It's just winning.
Yeah,
the picture shows them in the competitive playlist.
It does.
We have to go on
the competitive playlist becomes the ranked playlist somehow.
I don't know. I think that's what I'm saying. Need more answers, because if this is our ranked system, we have to have rewards tied to your rank. Like, you have to. People aren't going to be incentivized to purely play PvP just to get a number to go up. Like, they're going to want to achieve something else on top of that.
There's a lot of people. I agree with you.
Yeah, but isn't that like the hardcore people though?
Okay, yes, it is. 100% the hardcore
And also, one of the reasons that we were asking for this for the PvE community and the casual community is so that we could have a playground, a playlist for the ultra sweaty competitive people to go and beat the crap out of each other and leave us alone a little bit, right? So I'm a little from my perspective. I'm a little bit.
It's the competitive playlist right now.
No, it's not. It's the social playlist or the whatever playlist. No, it's not. I want to hear that there's a ranked playlist with rewards,
or at least give me. I want rewards tied to this. I want to grind Crucible to get that number to go up so that I can get something from that.
I'll be
something
honest,
that cannot be achieved unless that number does go up.
I'll be honest. I'm assuming there's things like that. It's spring 2018 is what they put it on there, and they're not going to give us the whole list of it just yet. So I'm expecting there to be rewards associated with it. I'm expecting that if you put enough valor into the season, that you come out with X amount of stuff from your
at the very least emblem. Right.
Emblem, shaders, whatever. I don't know. Maybe an emote. Maybe stuff like that. Maybe a permanent aura that you can equip at times. I don't know. Things need to be in there for that measurable amount. And then the rank stuff, I've always been iffy about rank in Destiny anyways, because the netcode is the most unreliable thing possible for a competitive experience, where some people might have a tick rate of 5 versus somebody has a tick rate of 30. And even those are extremely low if you look at Overwatch. So I think it's great to chase a number, but at the same time, I don't think a lot of true professional competitives type will come back to that. I think it's going to be the people who are still playing right now that are interested in increasing that number. Like today, they're playing.
So you're right, Briar. This is reaching out there. This is their spring 2018. There's going to be less details, right? This isn't their absolute blueprint of what they're going to do. This is just the start of it. And maybe by them putting it out there, just like we asked, right? There's an opportunity to give feedback, and that's what we're doing right now.
Yes.
Yep. Private matches are coming back. Private matches are coming to all players of Destiny 2. Players will be able to invite their friends to play on the map and mode of their choosing. There will be private matches. We're also getting a 6v6 playlist. We're bringing 6v6 PvP to Destiny 2 in addition to the current 4v4 game modes.
Can it just be control?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Because then, I'll be just so happy.
That is one thing. Okay, so in a world where I can't find matches currently in 2 playlists, if you split it into 4 playlists, what happens then?
That's the concerning thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people are talking about, being able to pick, particular game modes. But right now, with the current population, I don't see how that's going to work. Not that I know anything about that, but I would imagine, we saw issues with that to a degree with Destiny 1, depending on your skill rating and stuff. So I would imagine it's not going to be like a walk in the park getting that right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just feels like once they put 6v6 in there, I just feel like that's going to be the main playlist. Suddenly quick play is going to get its population cut in half. And then,
well, is there going to be a 6v6 quick play and competitive, or is it just going to be? Is it going to be 4v4 quick play, 4v4 competitive, and 1 6v6 game?
Probably just. I imagine 6v6 quick play. I can't imagine 6 players.
Will it rotate in and out like we used to see in Destiny 1, where some weeks 6v6 is available and some weeks it's not?
So some weeks it's just some weeks mayhem.
Right. That's another thing is we're getting Mayhem event. Mayhem will return as a limited time event during Season 3 and going forward. So they don't say 6v6 is going to be a limited time event during Season 3 and going forward.
Yeah. 6v6 is coming. Are we getting new maps? Is another question that I have. 6v6 on these maps is...
There's only 2 maps that would really work for it.
So if we're looking... But here's another thing, though, that we got to put in play. Is that if we're looking at this coming out in spring of 2018 with a significant sandbox change, 6v6 is going to play different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. If we have that sandbox change coming kind of before 6v6, maybe they're taking all of that into consideration before they bring out 6v6 and kind of switching things around. I don't know. We'll see how it works.
They also say we're making some changes to make quitting less common, behind-the-scenes security improvements to help improve the overall Crucible experience. Hopefully, they're going to hide your fucking IP so hide your DDoS.
It's impossible. Can't do that without dedicated servers.
Additional highlights. Weapon and ability balance pass. Sandbox adjustments based on player feedback and data from the live game. The Sandbox team will share specific changes as we lead up to Season 3. So this is... they are talking. They are going to make sandbox adjustments. They don't go into any detail about what they're going to be.
Yep.
I think that, and we highlighted this already, but this was a bit of a misstep, and would have been nice to hear a little more there.
Because we got 2 bullet points worth of stuff in regarding to the thing that is basically the biggest thing in the game, because everyone takes part in the sandbox of the game.
Yeah.
Right. And it affects each other. We know that, right? Is that if you make changes for the sake of PvP, it affects PvE and vice versa, because they are so closely tied together. Exotic weapon and armor balance pass. Exotic weapons and armor are receiving a comprehensive design pass to ensure they stand out from the rest of the gear on offer, and offer new, exciting, powerful ways to play.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool.
Like the last part of that.
Yeah.
The powerful ways to play.
I often am playing either PvP or PvE with no exotic weapon equipped at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Often.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same.
Or armor. Sometimes.
When I raid, I use the Warcliffe coil specifically to get my heavy ammo back.
Right.
Just straight up, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm often seed coil glitching to get a full stack of curtain call ammo.
Shame on you.
Oh, I'll take all the shame. I'll shame you with my midnight coup.
Ouch! Oh,
Coup shaming.
Seasonal reputation. Specific vendors will now display a seasonal ranking. Earning a reputation will unlock unique seasonal rewards and will reset each season.
I mean, I like it.
Cool.
Yeah, more stuff for me to work towards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Long-term goals are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Definitely.
Can we get just vendor ranks in general? Like,
Yeah.
there's just something about it, isn't there? Like playing Crucible in D1, like just seeing the bar move at the end of the game, just it just feels good. Can't explain it, but yeah, like I'd love to see that again.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
Improved Iron Banner and faction rallies. In addition to the changes that you will be seeing when Iron Banner and faction rallies return this month, we will continue iterating on these to make them unique, exciting experiences that you all look forward to.
Don't make it supremacy, Bungie. I know it's supposed to be coming up.
Just
Don't
skip
make
it.
God, that did you guys have that happen? Like I was on for reset last Iron Banner, and for like the first 3 or 4 minutes, it was supremacy, and I was like, nope,
Really?
just fucking nope.
See ya.
I mean, that's good. I'm
Debated.
glad that they're looking to make it exciting and unique, something that we look forward to. It's good. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
Endgame player pursuits. We agree with your feedback on the imbalance between achievement and bright anger rewards, and we will be making adjustments to shift more rewards into specific endgame pursuits instead of generic XP grinding for bright engrams. We are excited to share the details as soon as we have them worked out. This is pretty much a direct response to the Eververse controversy that is all over the Bungie forums, I would say.
and the first thing they went over at like the top of the page too. So
Yeah.
You skipped over one, Briar, that as a person that grinds
playlist
strikes.
repetition. Yeah, sorry. Playlist repetition reduction. This feature solves the problem of experiencing the same playlist entry multiple times in consecutive or frequent succession for both Crucible and Strikes.
Dude, I've played
my God.
3-4 strikes in a row and gotten the same one.
I
Like,
played quick play for 1.5 hours and had not a single game of control. So
jeez.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for strikes, that's going to be really interesting because there's just not a lot of strikes. So
Right.
I
Rotate
appreciate.
through 'em.
I know you can rotate through them, but at the same time, there's some strikes that I refuse to run. Just period.
Oh yeah,
flat
which
out.
one's that?
Exodus Crash.
Yeah. Exodus Crash.
Why is that?
I'm exactly the same.
Oh,
It's an awesome strike.
I like my bosses to be interactive and fun. I don't like to
it's so
feel like I'm
bad.
being punished for doing what I'm supposed to do, which is make the boss's health bar go to 0. I like
It's
interesting
just
mechanics.
training for dealing with hunters in the Crucible.
Yeah, you know,
Exactly.
you fire
It
one
really
rocket. Yeah, fire
Where
one
the fuck
rocket,
do you
goes
go?
invisible. Where'd it go? Don't know. There's nothing you can do to make that not happen.
Takes like one magazine of ammo and they're gone.
Yeah, and then you run out of ammo killing all the other ads. That will overwhelm you because of the way the arena is designed. So it's not an interactive fight. Like and so if I'm every single time, I think since basically the dawning, when I was running chain strikes, I was like, okay, this one came up, nope, gone. I never did that in Destiny 1. Even when it was at its absolute worst for like strikes lengths, I at least felt like I was
Omnigul?
no.
Ever?
Actually, okay. I did a couple times. If I got it a bunch of times in a row, I skipped it. But you know, this one just it comes up and I'm gone because I don't feel like I'm doing anything to actually fight this guy. It's
Yeah, it's poor design because it's like it's 7 layers
It's bad.
of him disappearing and then waiting for ads and so on and so forth. If it was just 3, then I'd be okay with it. You take it down a
He's going to
third.
get the grasp. He is going to be the guy.
He's gonna have
gonna be
that
the guy
best
that you
strike
have to
reward.
grind.
Oh, he's gonna be it.
There is no doubt.
Probably.
Yep.
His strike specific drop is going to be so fucking good that everybody's going to be out there.
It's true.
When you hit somebody with the arms that have this mod on it, you go invisible,
Ooh.
Every time
so
you hit them, no matter what.
no matter what.
what the hell was that?
That would-
There was one of those in
the one
in D1,
Capri Sting.
the Hunter
Okay.
gloves.
Capri
Oh wait,
Sun.
or how about when enemies start to shoot you and you receive a certain amount of damage, you automatically go invisible.
You
Or
actually
you just
you
disappear altogether. You're
translocate.
just fucking gone.
You translocate
It's gone.
halfway across the map somewhere else.
Teleport. There
Yeah.
you go.
There, I'd grind it for that.
Yeah.
But what I'm hoping this is, though, is like for PvP, it could go Clash, Control, Supremacy, Clash, Control, Supremacy. So then at least I know if I play out these 2 games of Clash and Supremacy, I'll be in the promised land. You know, I can stick it out. Maybe I can play for longer than 2 hours.
They just give us goddamn playlist of Control.
Yeah.
I would love Control, Zone Control, and Rift. I love Rift. I'd take Rift back.
Yeah, I think Rift to be awesome.
You know, speaking of strike-specific loot, I know this is like a pipe dream, but it would be really awesome if there was more than just a weapon or a piece of armor. It'd be cool if they
full set of armor.
Yeah, or a full suite of weapons that could drop from that specific strike. Cool. So you could actually grind it. Like if they're not going to give you if they're not going to have random drops or random rolls with these strike-specific drops, then they really do need to flesh it out further. There's more than just one.
You wouldn't have grinded Omnigul if you got your first grasp and you were done like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell no.
True. Yep.
Or
Briar, I'm getting really excited in a couple bullet points here for you.
Oh boy.
Multi-emote. When multi-emote launches, you'll be able to choose which emote you have equipped to each of your 4 emote slots. We heard about this a little earlier, and it's coming in the spring update.
That's cool.
The next one is vault space. We are targeting an additional 50 slots to player vaults. We don't believe just adding more space is a complete solution and are actively working on other changes to reduce load on your vault space. We're adding an exotic accessory tab to vault collection so you no longer need to spend vault space on exotic ships, sparrows, and ghosts.
I mean, good. More space is good.
Will this make you happy, Briar?
No. 50 slots for an expansion? No, it's not even close. This is fucking ridiculous as far as I'm concerned that we're having the same issue that, you know, you guys slap my wrist for saying like, you know, how could we be in this spot? This is like crazy to me. And the fact that the solution is 50 more slots with an expansion coming, that's going to get filled up almost immediately, just like it did with every expansion in Destiny 2. Every time they gave us, you know, more slots in Destiny 1, you know, you filled it up immediately because you just had expansion after expansion with more gear. The vault, I think it needs to be just erased, and they need to come up with a different fucking system altogether because it's just, why do we have a vault when we don't have random rolls? There's nothing specific about our gear whatsoever. It's all exactly the same.
Yeah.
So once you've collected it, why do you need to store it? Why can't you just, all right, I've collected the Better Devils. If I delete it, I could just go and get another one. Or my vault is just like the ether. And like anytime you've collected a weapon or a piece of armor, at any point, you can just equip it to your character. Why do we have the same inventory system that we had in Destiny 1 and the same vault system that we had in Destiny 1 when it was so fucking... It was so archaic back then, and we hated it so much back then. No, I'm not satisfied that we're getting 50 extra fucking slots in the vault when I think it's just a fucking retarded system.
I assumed that like kiosks would just happen by default, like for like legendary stuff, or like a
I
way
thought that was part of why we were getting rid of random rolls, so the kiosks would be like the replacement for the vault.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought the reason we got rid of last gen is so we can have more vault space.
You know, the fact that I'm still using Dim, I mad respect to the guys who make Dim because they basically make Destiny playable to me. But the fact that we still have to use it in Destiny 2 is like, what the fuck? Like,
well, so they do not. They think that vault 50 spaces is not the complete solution. They agree with you, and are actively working on other changes to reduce load on your vault space.
Shaders.
Dun. We'll
like
hear more.
Maybe shaders. Maybe mods. Maybe I see that they are the next bullet point, adding exotic accessory tab to vault collection, so you no longer have to spend vault space on exotic ships, sparrows, and ghosts. How about we add those for legendary ships, sparrows, and ghosts too?
Please,
because we had that in D1, and that freed up a ton of space.
Why does a stack of 70 fucking shaders take up the same slot as one shader? And why, when I have 70 fucking green shaders, does it take me 30 minutes to delete them all?
Nick, just take about 75% of Briar's F-bombs and bleep them.
Nick, I'm gonna belay that and say make them louder.
I'm gonna be honest. I just dump my shaders into the vault
Mhm.
because I only play one character in D2. Like now, I'm not like motivated to play 3 characters anymore.
Oh,
Kind of
I
makes me
totally
sad
get
to
that.
say that, but so yeah, like I'm super lazy. My vault is full of shaders, like literally, like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
like 4 things that do not need to be in the vault: shaders, mods, transmat effects.
Duplicate shaders from the Dawning, the same fucking shader.
They
just-
do not need to be in there. Yep. Those don't need to be there. The transmat effects don't need to be there. Ghosts, ships, sparrows, all those do not need to be vault items that take up space.
No.
It should totally be a kiosk.
Mhm.
And like the kiosk, like that shit. If I decide, you know what, I want to play with this, exotic sparrow that I got because my friends were just talking about it. Why can't I just access that sparrow when I'm out in the EDZ? Why do I have to make a trip to the tower to go get it or use DIM to go get it? Like why is that a thing?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Well-
Next up, PC Clan Chat. This is awesome. PC Clan Chat, in addition to the tower chat that is targeted for February, we're adding Clan Chat to the PC version of the game.
Thank
Cool.
goodness.
This is huge. Like all
That's
the
cool.
time. Like I want to just like, hey, anybody want to do Trials of Cyrus or Trials of the Nine? Anybody want to do a raid? I'm doing a Nightfall. We need one more for the Nightfall. Like just chat with my fucking clan. That's great.
Yep.
Yep.
And I feel like your internet went out. Nobody's talking.
So I have a question. This is another kind of downer question, but are these changes and everything going to bring back a lot of people? So substantial things like the clan chat can actually have populated people in it now because
My
there's not a
clan
lot of
is
people on in my
populated
clan.
because I feel like clans are. I think I'm lucky that I'm a streamer and clans are breaking apart. People don't have people to play with. They wander into streams and are like, "Hey, you got any spot in your clan? Because I'd like to have people to play with." So I'm just constantly adding people to my clan who just don't have people to play with. And it's nice that we'll have a clan chat so that now, if one of us wants to do a Nightfall or a raid or just some regular Crucible, we can just shoot out a message to the entire clan, whoever's on, and they'll all get it. And I think you'll get it if you have the Bungie. I would imagine that you'd get it if you have the Bungie app, so you don't necessarily have to be logged in. Hopefully,
That's not a guarantee because it might be.
no,
through
it's
Blizzard.
definitely not a guarantee. But please do that. That'd be nice.
It would make sense.
It might be through Blizzard.
So, Patrick, your question was off the cuff, but I want to respond to it. You said,
Yeah.
"Are these changes going to bring people back?" And it's a complicated problem.
Oh yeah, it is.
That isn't a simple solution. So, are these changes part of a solution that will hopefully bring people back?
Mhm.
Yes, I believe so. I think it's a changes in a good direction. They need to be also dovetailed with solid changes to the sandbox and solid DLC content release coming up. That's what we need to have in that successive order. So, yes, I don't think people are going to be coming back in droves based on these changes right here. But with substantial, adjustments and an improved experience for people getting rewards through these changes within the upcoming new content, that's when we'll see. So these changes are setting what I believe is the first step.
So I partially agree with you, Pope. Partially.
Okay.
The parts that I think are accurate are for the people who have played Curse of Osiris and then fell off. Okay. So people who play today, right now, that we're obviously excited about the new updates and things that are coming.
Sure.
That's going to be a bonus for us that we still play. If you play Curse of Osiris, enjoyed it for a week, and then have not looked back, then these changes are definitely enticing. They'll be like, oh, maybe I will jump in and try to get some of the new rewards, so on and so forth. If you played D2 and then dropped it after a month, those people are long gone and are not going to come back until there is a serious change to the game. And I think that's going to take a Taken King style expansion to bring in a whole new level of changes, new content, new raid, so on and so forth, because they've seen that like the raid layer is just a short raid layer that gives you only 2 weapons. They're not going to come back for that. And it's going to be the same thing for the next expansion. People who dropped it after they got done with Leviathan are not going to come back to those raid layers with the second expansion because it's too little too late for them right now. And they're probably playing other games at the moment. So
sure.
I think
people feel burned too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, people feel very burned.
There's a lack of trust.
Let me argue this basic point though. You there are people that are burned. There are people that are done with the game, but where do we expect Bungie to start?
So this is a great starting point.
Yes, they screwed up. Yes, they screwed up. Yes, the game's it's not the game we wanted. Yes. Okay, I agree. All that. Where the fuck do we want them to start?
I think the main thing I think is with the weapon and ability balance pass. When they start talking about sandbox adjustments, if they make that an open conversation, they can start big time getting Crucible players back because basically the entire population of the Crucible has left the game.
Yeah.
Right? And
yeah.
Sandbox.
I think they would come back if they made a fun sandbox for the Crucible.
Perfect.
I really do.
Yeah,
I
completely
I think they need to
agree.
I think these changes move in the right direction, and they need to up the sandbox, take some risks, make the sandbox changes sooner to bring people back in.
A lot of those things, though, that people are talking about with the sandbox changes aren't really things that I don't think can easily be done in a quarter 2 of 2018 type of thing. Like a lot of the people who left are the ones that are saying, I don't like this weapon system, and I'm not going to come back until it's changed. I don't like the way the movement feels. I don't like the the overarching systems that are in the game. They're not liking those, and they need to be overhauled or changed or adjusted in some way so it feels new. So I feel like there's a lot of people that are kind of past the point of return until there's a really big facelift that happens.
Right, but there's nothing. Okay, so you can put lipstick on a pig, Tefty, but it's still a freaking pig. So they're having to make the changes. The people that are playing Destiny right now are going to see a slow progression of changes through the game, these changes through the sandbox that we're going to experience. Then there's going to be a release of content that's going to benefit from those changes. So I think they're making the right steps, but what I want to do is give them feedback on saying, well, hey, up some of the stuff, like if you can, because we need to see more of that and play more of that out, because the last thing that I want to happen is another content drop with a shitty sandbox.
I totally agree with you. The reason I was asking that, I guess, is that like I also don't think that these changes just presented like this aren't stuff that'll make us come back, but these changes are the type of things that might make people stay, assuming they do come back for a much larger thing. The unfortunate thing is like we're basically kind of almost beta testing. Okay, we basically are kind of beta testing for what will eventually probably be, say, expansion or whatever, expansion 2.
Taking Queen?
Yeah, we'll say Taken Queen. For Taken Queen. And then maybe a bunch of people come back. Maybe all these changes add up to something substantial enough that people aren't going to just suddenly bleed off 48 hours later. Yeah. We're going to actually have them stay because they can talk to their clan. We're going to have them stay because they can talk to the tower. We're going to have them stay because they have a more substantial exotic system and everything put into the game. All that type of stuff does add up in the long term, but you have to keep that in mind, even though we are basically people that have been playing this, so we want this to happen in the short term.
Sure.
Bungie's in a worse situation than they were with the release of the Taken King, though. I think it's much.
This is really bad.
Yes.
Because first of all, a lot of people feel twice bitten, right? Is that they felt like they beta test Destiny 1, and now we're doing it again with Destiny 2.
You can't. But also, you can't argue with them, Briar.
No, you can't.
That, right?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
You can't.
I know you're not. I'm just saying. I'm agreeing with you.
People are out of patience.
There's a different feeling from the consumer to Bungie right now. Is people feel betrayed by Bungie. They feel abused by Bungie. They feel like the Eververse trading system, the XP system, the value for the Curse of Osiris, like they just like it does not feel like we have the same relationship with Bungie that we did in Destiny 1.
It feels different. There's a different era.
It feels very different. And I don't know that the Taken Queen is going to change that. They're not going to change the way the basic consumer feels about having suffered through, these controversies early in Destiny 2's life. Like that kind of taint, I don't know if it shines off.
I don't think that that equivalent expansion will do for Destiny 2 what it did for Destiny 1.
I don't know if it will.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't think it will. I think there's so much damage that is done, Yeah. And it's very difficult to move past because people have seen it before. People are fatigued. They're fatigued by the negativity around the game as well. That's another element. Just as someone who is invested in this thing, it's
well. Do you think that they've in a way know that as well? And I'm just talking hypothetically. I have no axe to grind. I'm not. I don't have a point here. Do you think that in a way they know that is a piece of the audience that they know they're never going to get back, and Bungie. They're making making the game. Yeah. They're making the game that they're making a changes to the game, and they're going to be making. They're taking the game in a different direction, and they're going to build a new audience with what they have.
That's kind of what I think too.
Yeah, that's it. It's a case of slowly repairing things now, which they have to do. It's possible to repair it through? I think a majority of the Destiny population, that repair can be made. I think there's a portion that has been burned badly, and those are the ones that are vicious online, that are visceral, and you feel their pain even though they're lashing out often in the wrong ways, but you hear them and you see that, and I get it.
The kind of repairs that Bungie needs to do right now aren't necessarily the kind of thing that can be done in game updates. They need to do this. They need to restore a trust with the community, and I'm not gonna lie, the microtransaction system felt abusive. The Bright Engram thing felt abusive. It just felt like that Bungie as a company had very little respect for me as a player, and that's not something that I entered Destiny 1 with. When I stuck with Destiny 1 as a beta tester, it was because I loved the game and I was confident in it was exciting and fun for me as a Destiny player to watch the game improve, and it was this shot in the dark from a company that was trying something completely different. They don't have that goodwill for me anymore. They ruined that.
Yeah,
they really did.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have lost the ability to trust Bungie to fix Destiny 2. And now that people don't believe that Bungie can fix it, it's going to take multiple of these updates, maybe for a very long time, for the people to look back and be like, you know what? Bungie's actually been working really hard fixing this game and making it what we wanted it. Now I'll come back. It's not. Do we
have an example of the Division on that?
We do.
The Division screwed the pooch royally, right?
But what the Division didn't do is abuse the player as far as microtransactions go, and make you feel
so almost what Bungie's done is maybe industry wide, one of the worst examples.
Yeah, the problem that Bungie has right now is that they've made all these mistakes, and now are saying with this letter that we need to bring a lot of the systems that were in D1 into this game. And everybody said, why the hell did you take all this stuff out of D1 in the first place when it launched? And that was the first tear right there. It was still healable, but it was the first tear. And 5-6 months later, that arm has been amputated for a lot of people. They've moved on for that because
they've got it. They can't. They're not going to give up.
No, of course, they're not going to give up.
They're going to make the game is still a solid foundation of an awesome, great shooter. I love the feel of the fucking game. I love the community that's been here, the people that I know, all this stuff. There's a lot of reasons why we want it to be successful. They're making some steps that I feel painfully slow right now.
Very slow, especially with a bunch of companies out there giving examples of how fast development can happen for their updates and making them look bad. Honestly, It's really funny
They
to
are.
see this, like all these things that are, let's revert back to D1 essentially, when like who was in the helm not making the decisions correctly with D2? They're going Pope.
Yeah.
I think they have two options that they could do.
You guys froze. Are you all right?
We're back
Yeah,
now.
we're
Yeah.
good.
Are you okay, Paul?
I was like,
I really feel like there's two options. It's either A, they try to get this core audience that they had back 100%, and that would involve some free content that's going to be expensive for them. Like it would be like a Taken Queen that's essentially free in September. Say, hey, we're really sorry that we completely crapped all over your dreams with these microtransactions and awful decisions in development, made you wait a year and so on and so forth, and we're sorry about this. Or they make you pay for the Taken Queen and say, we're going to lose all these customers and we're going to try to get a whole new customer base. Or not a whole new customer base, but a new customer base that's going to come in and say, I heard D2 was bad, but this Taken Queen thing looks awesome. Maybe I'm going to give it a shot now. Because there was a lot of people that came in and Taken King who had never played D1 before. And that was a big core audience that showed up post Taken King because of that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a bit of both marketing wise, isn't it? For them, really.
Yeah.
Like, but it's tough. Like I can see how this has been a difficult process for Bungie. Like the challenge of actually, I've been pretty critical of Destiny 2 at times, but like the challenge of landing this game, and when you hear about, like the game being rebooted and all this stuff, like at the time that it was, and we've heard that before. I don't know whether it's like a management thing. I don't know whether their dev tools and all of that stuff is just not good still. I don't know, but they seem to be very inhibited, like in a number of ways. It feels like a comedy of
errors, Houndish. It's what
they have to fix the game, but they also have to fix their reputation and their relationship with the community. Like it's two different things that they have to be working on right now, and I don't know that they can give away the Taken Queen for free, but they definitely have to make it a very valuable thing. Like they have to make it the value proposition there.
The season changes are basically what needs to bring people back. I'm going to give you an example. You guys play Overwatch from time to time, right? Mm-hmm. Generally, when I play Overwatch and I stop playing, the only thing that really makes me come back is because I hear, oh, this character that I like got changes. Let's try it out. Sandbox. So they need to be very front and center with the things that they know are going to bring people back.
Seasons could be a really good example, Patrick, just like you're saying, of making significant sandbox changes for a limited time.
I assumed that was like going to be an automatic goal of like seasons, when the first time I heard about it.
Same.
I mean, it's pretty much any other game. It's some of the terminology I think hasn't helped Bungie, like competitive versus quick play, like right off the bat. Once we learned that there wasn't a system behind that, there's an expectation that people have now, right? Like games like Overwatch are a perfect example.
The Weapon Forge. Yeah. Terrible naming. Like you name some of the forge and then don't allow forging. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, that was terrible.
You're setting expectations against, like, a very tough...
Two words, infinite, and forge.
Infinite forest.
Infinite forest.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, yeah. The naming of their stuff's actually been pretty bad. I mean, like, when you look back and you're like...
In regards to the mechanics, thematically, what it represents in the story, hell yeah, you nailed it. But for what we're playing here, there's a couple more things we have to get to on this list here. There's like Heroic Strike changes. We'll be introducing modifiers to add more gameplay variety to Heroic Strike experience.
I love that.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's fun and that's cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Yep. We also can I read stuff? I feel like my voice wants to talk. Fall 2018 or sooner. Next things here. So some of the stuff might come soon. Some might come in fall 2018. Very, very large time frame for all this stuff. Item collections and records. I like records.
I like item collections.
Record books.
Record books.
I
was so surprised that there were not record books in Destiny 2. I was really surprised. It seemed like it was a really successful and popular thing in Destiny 1.
It was, yeah.
I mean, I love going around and finding dead ghosts and...
I don't think it's on here, but Christopher Barrett actually... I think I learned this from Houndish's video today. Christopher Barrett said that dead ghosts are coming back.
What'd you find out, Houndish?
or thereabouts. Well, it's kind of difficult. It's not very clear whether he means dead ghosts are actually coming back or whether they want to have collectibles like dead ghosts.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but they haven't touched on that. And also Rumble as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like he said, signs point to yes.
Yeah,
Rumble.
additional Crucible
But-
playlists. Example, Rumble was on this list here as well.
Ah, okay.
I don't want to wait
Wow,
till
yeah,
fall. I was really
absolutely.
hoping
I
this
see
was
it.
going to be
Cool.
in at least the spring update.
I
want
was
Rumble.
hoping
Yeah.
it was coming soon. I'm surprised it's coming so late.
Yeah.
I hate to
Well,
bitch that
this says
it's
or
coming.
sooner.
It
Or
does.
sooner.
Yeah.
Say,
Great,
Yeah,
it's
true.
coming. But goddamn, I want Rumble back.
I want Rumble back with not this sandbox. Weapon slot and archetype improvements. So the keyword there, weapon slot and archetype improvements. Like,
Yes.
so weapon slot, are they actually going to address kinetic energy power? I don't think
Sounds
so,
like
because that's like baked into the, those like the bones of the entire, weapon.
I would have said that
system.
about 6v6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
true. I mean, I did. I said a couple podcasts ago. I said 6v6 is never coming. Don't get your hopes up. Just
I remember you chastising me for it.
yes, I did. So I'll take that back.
I mean, a lot of people are taking that as wow.
You know
Are
what,
they
Patrick?
actually gonna do? Are they gonna change the weapon slot system?
Yeah, I have.
A lot of
Alex,
people are viewing that as a potential for them looking into
Yeah.
that
Change
system.
or add.
Oh,
We got better clan rewards. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
How could they get
that's
better
very
than they
vague,
are?
I think the clan perks for like leveling up a clan could be not as.
I don't know. That
Generic.
pole is fucking awesome, man. It's so hot with the red. Oh,
Yeah, that you only see if you pull up your clan page. It's like, how come?
Yeah.
But now
Why
with
wouldn't I
clan
wanna put
chat,
the
you're gonna be there
staff down?
all the time.
Yeah. I want to throw a staff down too, Watts. I want to be in a public event area or something and have like a perk where I throw a staff down and the people in my clan get like a buff for being in the aura of the staff.
yeah.
That's excellent.
That was literally
I
in
love
World
it.
of
That would be
Warcraft.
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Literally in World of Warcraft, you had a clan banner you could throw down, gain increased rep and XP. It's great.
Put it in
Be
D2.
awesome.
Copy
Let's do
paste.
it.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Masterwork exotics.
Woo!
I mean, good because then we might actually use exotics sometimes.
The orb generation is good enough that I don't want to use an exotic. I'd rather use a masterwork
Yeah,
weapon right now, especially in a strike. So
Exactly.
they kind of need to add that to make
Yeah.
make me
Yeah.
use one.
Pinnacle weapon and gear improvements.
What's a pinnacle weapon?
Pinnacle weapon and gear improvements. That means like gear that's from the hardest. I took that as like gear that's
Yeah.
from the hardest activities, like
Because
pinnacle weapon.
they've said they've used
Pinnacle
that term
activities.
before, haven't they? Pinnacle, activities.
Good.
Top of the
So-
mountain.
Yeah, good.
Trials of the Nine improvements.
Elimination.
intros.
Woo.
Stop it with the intros.
So, allow us to all just
I
skip.
know
the
that.
intros. Can we skip?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd
skip
be-
button.
It's a big Eververse advert, though, isn't it? Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
it
it
totally is.
yeah.
Well,
And
look
that's
at
something
that guy.
like not too many people have pointed out. I bet you could get like a good few salty articles about how that's an Eververse.
I-
advert.
I've been harping on it, Honda.
Yeah.
You have.
I've
Yes.
been fighting the fight.
represent.
Shaders and dismantling.
So we can mass dismantle shaders in fall, guys. Yeah.
By then we'll have like thousands,
Oh,
like stacks
God.
of 1,000. I bet.
Oh God. The future of guided games. This is something that's kind of important to me. I talked about it in the video that I put out, but basically it's like, to me, this kind of implies that either guided games as like a clan finder thing is going away. That's what I took of it, just because the words "the future."
Doesn't say
Kinda-
improvements to guide.
Yeah, it doesn't say improvements.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows guided games right now. If you ask what's guided games, what do I use it for? I use it for LFG. That's what you use it for. If the systems were separated, where we had an LFG, we had Clan Finder, both would be stronger. But because we have this weird hybrid system put together, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. Especially with a lot of clans that have just kind of bottomed out.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough time to have guided games going right now.
I just as an experiment last week, I was a seeker in for the Nightfall. Took, I believe, 25 minutes to find a group.
I don't even know how to find it. Like I don't even know where the UI it is.
Oh, to go to Nightfall, then at the very far right side, there's a little icon.
I wasn't looking for an explanation, but thank you.
But there you go. Well, you asked. I am.
What I was pointing out that it's so fucking unimportant that I don't even know where the UI element is for it.
Yeah. For some people, it is important, though, Brian.
Yeah.
I've Resolute. We help. I've helped a ton of people through Nightfalls, and the stories that you hear from people that you do help, I mean, are heartwarming. You know, there are people that have not been able to complete the Nightfalls, or, you know, really are looking for experienced people. So in its purity, in its concept and design, it's a great idea. It's nice to get the community involved this way. I think it does need to be, you know, worked at, because it misses mark.
People are using a clan finder as an LFG, and so once again, people are showing that that's really what they want. Make that feature what they want, not two things. Address solo versus fire team matching.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Address.
Yeah, I like that.
Address it.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, I wish the game had the player base that like Overwatch does, where it goes, hey, if you're two people, the other team's gonna have two people that are also together on it, like, and it just keeps going up. So if you're a full stack, you're gonna get basically matched against a full stack, and it will make your queue times longer. But it really keeps the games fair and
fun.
And fun, yeah.
It's generally a good trade-off, isn't it?
And let's see, there's one final note. Expect to hear more from us via Bungie.net, Twitch, and other social media. I know like Cosmo posts on Reddit a lot now. DMG's on Twitter and the Bungie forums, and then a lot of the other devs are on Twitter as well. And we'll be talking to you more directly and more often as promised. We want to thank our community for the passionate and detailed feedback you provide. It's critical to our ability to continually improve Destiny, so thank you. So
keep that promise, please. For once, you've made that promise many times, not you personally, Chris Barrett, but Bungie as a group has made that promise multiple times over and over again. In fact, it was made to us in December, and then you guys went on vacation for a month. I think you were the only person talking to us.
Well, like, to be fair, it's fucking vacation.
Yeah, but you just, like, if you're going to promise communication, they go on vacation. Like, maybe that was just a bad time to promise communication.
It was a bad time. It was a bad time to promise it prior.
Guys, we're going to keep talking to you, but
look, if you said,
get to
hey
it,
guys,
like, later.
when we get back from vacation, we'll be talking to you.
That's not
in 2018.
Dude, you guys, I get it. I get the sarcasm, but that's not how I saw it.
It's a meme in the community. We're listening. Whatever. We're doing better.
Yeah.
You know, like, come on. It's like,
I would say it's not a meme from them saying that recently. They've said this like years ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
That we're gonna talk to you more.
No, and I agree with you. I agree with you that but he addresses it at the beginning of the post. Is that, and then they're saying, we know you've heard this before. This is a time for action, and they're expecting to get blowback. But
Christopher Barrett, he's being real serious with the communication thing now. Like he wants to make sure this gets fixed, not just people saying, we're doing it.
He was up till midnight last night writing the draft for this too.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's serious about fixing stuff.
In the last 3 weeks, he's been a fountain of information on Twitter. Like,
yeah, it kind of seems like Bungie just handed it over to him. Like,
it does feel like that, Watts. It really does.
Like,
and he's like, I got this. Go on.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of broke it.
Like Chris Barrett.
Do you think you can fix this?
Right.
Like, sure. Hold my beer.
Like, all right.
We kind of broke it. Do you think you can fix this?
You know what is missing?
We're going to go work on Destiny 3. We'll see you in 3.
A lot of D1 things. Do you think you can put those in there?
All right. I don't know. I'm excited about this list of potential updates. The only feedback I have right now is that I'd like to see, and I think universally in this room, we'd like to see the sandbox changes come up in that time change, and for them to take some risks and maybe do something to make PvP more interesting sooner than later with sandbox changes. But other than that, a lot of the stuff that they're making seems like a really good foothold. And if the future content can be compelling and exciting, like they're promising, it's going to be based on a foundation of a solid game.
Yeah, like I said, if you play Destiny still, if you play it today or have played it in the past week or so and so forth, all these changes are good. This is great stuff coming down the line for us.
I like things that are good.
Yeah, I like good things too. It's changes to Eververse. It's changes to how they're going to do the seasons. It changes out a reward system, so on and so forth. It's all good news for people who still enjoy playing Destiny, which I am definitely a part of that camp. There is no game right now that has that kind of visceral feel in a looter shooter. So
I don't even see one on the horizon.
You never know. All of a sudden,
That's
boom.
not gonna last forever, though.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
That's the thing.
Waiting
Once
for
competition
the-
shows up, I mean, they're gonna. I said this in a tweet. They have to move 10 times quicker. If they have legitimate competition in this space, space magic, first-person shooter, they are gonna have to be like a gazelle in comparison to what they've been doing.
How's
Oh,
that
yeah.
retweet going to about Borderlands 3? We're up to 1 million yet?
No, I'm getting there.
Maybe we should pip it down.
Yeah, you broken four digits yet there, Tefty?
Oh, easily broke 4 digits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We're at five? Five digits?
No, not at 5 digits. We're at 3,000. So
Ooh.
3,000
All right.
retweets out of 1 million.
Everybody go follow Tefty on Twitter. Find his post.
It's my pinned tweet. You go hit that retweet. Randy Pitchford said that he would reveal information about Borderlands 3 if there was 1 million retweets. So
Do you want to know more about Borderlands 3?
Yeah.
I want to know more about
I
Borderlands
do.
3.
I want to know more about Borderlands 3. Let's have it.
Yeah.
I'm going to
We
go
can
retweet
hear
it
more about
right now.
Borderlands 3 if you go and retweet that tweet.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's have some BL3 info.
Yeah.
I'm sure companies have seen the Destiny community too, and they're like, man, I want people that are that passionate that will stick around
Right?
through no content and all this stuff. They're gonna snap us up, Bungie. Someone out there is waiting.
If somebody had been developing an IP that is close to done and sees this opportunity, that has got to be a hot button where they're like, ooh, look at all these people pissed right now. Could easily just get their attention.
There's got to be somebody seeing it as an opportunity, hasn't there? Like,
Yeah.
definitely.
I feel like the closest one would be Borderlands 3. Because they've been working on it, even though he says
Yeah.
it doesn't exist until it's been announced.
Yeah.
So they're
Anthem, I feel like is similar, but it doesn't have the PvP aspect.
I'm waiting for the looter shooter DLC for Doki Doki Literature Club.
Hell yeah.
It'll happen.
Can
happen.
we can be one of the girls on a
retweets?
competitive match?
Oh, yeah.
It's a hero
It's a
looter
hero shooter.
They're gonna do a
Yeah.
Battlegrounds mod first. We all know it.
yeah.
Doki Doki Battlegrounds.
That's what I'd play the hell out of that.
Yeah, I'm
I
waiting
could be
for
Natsuki running around.
No
shooting
spoilers,
fools.
but the game basically is that in a way. So
I'm waiting for a Yoshi's Island battle royale. For Mario.
Hey, they should do it.
Exactly.
Be awesome.
So can I give a little shout out on the THWAB this week? The
yes,
THWAB.
yes.
Yes. So my boy Lego Flash got
Right.
the montage movie of the week with his mayhem montage.
Nice.
No.
Yeah. So I always enjoy that. I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoy the creators highlighting piece of it. The videos that are at the end of the THWAB. It's always one of my highlights for the week.
The THWAB?
Yeah, the THWAB.
I keep saying it every week, and I keep getting the visceral reaction of blind hatred towards you
I just think the Q-tips always.
every week.
So
Bob, that stuff
yeah.
out of there.
Thwobbing it.
you guys want to go over the THWAB today?
Is there anything in there worth going
Yeah,
over?
there's the return of the factions. We got
Faction
a
rallies.
Oh, I didn't even look at the THWAB.
the
We-
THWAB. The faction.
We've literally gone over the faction rally
Oh,
thing like
stop.
3 weeks ago
Stop.
when they originally
All I
announced the
want
faction
to point
rally
out
before they had
is
to
the
take it.
future war cult in the THWAB looks badass compared to New Monarchy and Dead Orbit. I mean, just the stances of the photo. The 3 characters in the future war cult look like they're, I
They
don't
look
know.
awesome.
They're like bad
They look
boys,
good.
They owe all of that to the lighting that they have there.
But look
That's
at
not
them.
the armor.
Yeah.
That's not
Look
the
at
armor
them.
working. That's the lighting
They are
technician.
beautiful.
Yeah, Patrick's right. That is the lighting.
That's a lighting
it the
technician.
lighting?
They
That's what it
chose
looks
that lighting. Okay.
Yeah.
Future War Cult. They know.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it looks cool. There's some of the faction armor, especially for New Monarchy and Future War Cult, some of my favorite. Not
New
really a
Monarchy
huge
stuff's
fan of
amazing.
Dead Orbit.
That orbit's sitting
Yeah.
down, ready to leave.
Dead Orbit is dumb. We all know it.
What are you saying, Houndish?
I'm a Dead Orbit guy, but
Oh,
I'm not that
sorry,
excited
Houndish.
by the Dead Orbit stuff. Like
Looks
the
like
New Monarchy
seagulls
stuff
pooped on
is
it.
amazing. Like,
Looks like
but I've always it does.
It looks like
Pretty
the
much.
stuff that Goodwill was like, I don't think we can sell this.
Yeah. But
Looks
yeah, I
like
love-
the
I
hunter
love New
stepped
Monarchy
in a
stuff.
bucket of paint and he's like, "Damn it!"
Well, I
Pretty
mean,
much.
Dead Orbit scavenges everything for everything, so they had to scavenge paint, and they're like, we don't have the revenue to actually fully paint this stuff, so you get one paintbrush's worth of paint for your whole armor set. So go nuts.
There's
Yeah,
going to be a
kinda
Destiny
looks
hot
like-
fix next week.
Yes, there
8
is.
a.m. Pacific on Tuesday, January 16th.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it'll be down for 4 hours, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be applying the thing that allows everyone to participate in the faction rally and Iron Banner and everything. So
Sure.
Yeah.
And
So
you
basically,
can
once the game goes live, the faction rally should be live as well.
Yeah.
any one of your 3 characters can win any one of the 3 auto rifles that they're putting up. So the Future War Cult, New Monarchy, Dead Orbit, they all have auto rifles. So it's going to be interesting to see what their perks are and what their, what kind of, it's basically a re-rolled version of another gun that we've seen already, but we'll see new rolls on them. Okay.
man, it'd be
Isn't
sweet
this-
to. You go ahead, Houndish.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I've only just realized this entire segment is just the entire segment from when they were originally going to drop faction runs.
Mhm.
Sorry,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm a little slow like that sometimes.
No,
Nope.
wouldn't it be great if you could just actually see who was winning the faction rally, like live in game?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be really
Yeah,
cool.
Social and
Yep.
interactive.
It would definitely add to engagement, so you could start trying to fight harder for your rally,
Yeah.
your faction.
My 10-year-old son was like looking around the tower for our New Monarchy banner that would show that we had won. So I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it would be great if there was like 3 flagpoles in the center when you spawn in, and
Oh, they're like different levels of
yeah,
based on.
well, as it
Who's
grows, who's
Yeah.
winning, it would the
That would be cool.
flags
that'd
would
be
go
cool.
higher or lower depending
can't
on
be that
Dead
hard
Orbit.
to do, right?
Keep Dead Orbit at half mast because that shit's dead.
Dead Orbit is so dumb.
Getting kicked out of the tower.
You guys, they're gonna kick your.
Hate us,
They're,
man.
they are legions. They
You
are
know what they
millions.
should do?
Fucking emo and lazy to come and
They should
kick my ass.
they should kick him out of the tower and put him on the farm.
They'd rather
know
run
what?
away.
There you go.
They're all wearing
I'm never
Jinko
gonna be one
jeans
to
and
piss
shit.
off.
What, are they gonna
the-
leave their mom's basement? Come on.
They can't like run fast. They can't like outrun us to our goal in their Jinko jeans either. Those things are just
Right.
flopping around too much.
You know how
Alright,
hard it
issue.
is to sprint in a duster jacket? It's ridiculous.
You're trying to hold on your trilby fedora hat too the entire time. Doesn't work.
Don't forget the glow sticks, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck, all you faction warriors out there. If you're sponsored Dead Orbit, don't feel bad. I'm sure you guys look great in yours.
In
Seagull poop.
Yeah, what gun? Also, this Valkadin looking Viced weapon.
Yeah, that's the high fire rate one, right? But maybe it's slow fire rate.
Maybe.
But
It's probably different.
maybe
It's probably
Yeah.
good. It's probably decent.
Yeah,
That's one of
it's
the
gonna be
better
good.
auto rifles.
sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else do we got, Briar? Are we into some twatter?
Yeah, let's do some Twitter questions. Marcus
little.
Maximus says, my question is for my dude Houndish. If you had to choose between keeping the beard chops or having all the stuff you want implemented into Destiny 2, what's your choice?
I'd lose the beard chops. Yeah, I'd just get rid
Take
of
one
it.
for the team.
Just yeah,
You
man.
could, you could never.
Would
grow
you
a
not?
Well, Monster Hunter is right around the corner, Houndish.
I know that's the question.
Would I shave my beard for
never
everything
be able
changed
to
in
grow
D2?
them back.
Everything.
Ever.
Your perfect D2.
Ugh.
Would you shave the beard?
I'd
Oh,
go for it.
I
I'd
would
say,
if
yeah.
I had
You
a
would be
beard.
forced to be baby face.
It's just
for the
easier.
rest of your life.
Can I regrow it?
No,
Bungie
Babyface.
would be really appreciative if it was that easy. Too. I mean, all we got to do is save this dude Houndish. Done.
Yeah.
I'd go for it. It seems like the simple option at this point.
Yeah, hell of a lot less work.
I'd have to put some thought into it.
Oh God, Tefty. Tefty is not the hero.
I am taking the
that we
fifth.
need, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
He's not the hero we asked for. He's the hero we deserve.
He's the hero we got stuck with.
We got
Hero we
stuck
got
with.
stuck
Respect
with,
to the
yeah.
beard.
Frankly, we don't deserve a very good hero.
Uh,
Kind of been shitty lately.
This is why you're the wench, Tefty. This is why you're
the
the wench.
wench, of course. Arr.
Mace says, yes, been waiting for this one. Such a good dude. Aside from Destiny, what is a game that you have logged the most amount of time in?
Oh,
What
Guild
game?
Wars 1 for sure.
Guild Wars 1?
Yeah. Oh
World
yeah.
of, World of Warcraft.
I played
400
like 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
it was actually
Can you
really
can you like add up? Can you like slash played and see exactly how much time you played in it?
bad. Yes.
Do you recall?
I don't, but I know it was not healthy.
There was
At all.
there was a time period in WoW where I refused to type slash play just because I didn't want that on my conscience. But now that it's years past, I did that, and I wish I hadn't. 419 days total.
Nice. That's
Good
good.
Lord.
You should be proud of that.
Yeah.
For me, it
You're
would have to
running
be
a
Grand
full
Theft Auto
Really?
because I played so much Grand Theft Auto as a kid.
Which one?
It's just all of them.
All of
Like right from not all of them actually. I didn't play like anything before like the PS2 games. I didn't play at the time. But I'm like I had a phase of being a massive Rockstar nerd, and I'm still like a really big I collect Rockstar stuff. I've just got like so much of their stuff. So like GTA, like from about the age of like
What's your
8
weirdest
years old.
Rockstar memorabilia
We-
item you have?
Weirdest? I don't know.
Nipple clamps?
I have the
Rockstar nipple
safety
clamps?
deposit box that came
couldn't
with the
get any of
special
those.
edition of GTA 4.
Yes. Yeah, I've got one of those, man. It's like it's all up here. I don't know. I've got loads of stuff like Carl Johnson's member card for the Four Dragons Casino.
All I heard was
in
Carl
Last
Johnson's
Venture.
member.
We all saw it in game if we had the right mods. Right. So, yeah. GTA.
Be a
is
better
one.
modder. Jeez. Missing out.
I guess for me, it'd probably be a close tie between Halo or Call of Duty.
Which Halo? Which Call of Duty?
Halo 3, I probably spent the most time in, and Call of Duty 4.
Call of Duty is tough because they came out yearly. So
That's
Call of
true.
Duty 4 is a good answer because that one was really a
I played that
game
one
'cause
forever.
Nobody played fucking World at War.
No.
Everybody just went, Call of Duty? Nah. Okay, Modern Warfare 2. Cool.
For me, it would be a toss up between Halo Reach and Borderlands 2. I spent just an obscene amount of time playing Halo Reach customs with my friends, and then I also spent an obscene amount of time playing Borderlands 2. Incidentally, offline actually, because I had a setup where I could have it do split screen on the PC with
Oh, nice.
with sandboxing certain instances of it. So Memes and I could actually play split screen like that. And I had friends come over and had a powerful enough rig to do that. So I had a lot of time logged in both those games.
Cool.
Nice.
Nothing for me compares even close to the amount of time I've put into Destiny. Like, it's not even like nearly close. But number 2 would probably be Diablo 2. I adored that game when it came out, and I just sat in front of my PC for hours and hours, just grinding. I love that game. The first Halo was pretty big too. That game was revolutionary. Like, it was insane. And I could play the missions over and over in
I
Halo.
played the crap out of Halo on my Mac.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can you still play Halo on PC or PC? Halo 2, Halo 1 and Halo 2 came out on PC, right?
Halo 2 can only be played through like the game store or something, like the Microsoft Game Store. It was a really weird application for it. You might be able to play like Halo 1. There's also like a mod. I think it's called Dorito. Yeah, Dorito. where it's like
me think it's
Doritos?
Doritos.
No,
and
that's
like,
what it's
I
supposed
went
to
to
do.
a bad
Hey,
place right there.
so Briar,
yeah, sorry
I
about
wasn't
that.
here during this Doritos
Oh,
thing. Can I get
Jesus.
a
You know, it's
play-by-play?
actually
Can
on Dado's
Pope, 'cause I
recent
never wanna
stream
revisit it
highlights.
again.
So now even more people know about
Yeah,
the
please, God,
Patrick
no.
story. Actually,
Okay.
Tefty did a pretty good impersonation of a mama bird, so he should probably tell the story.
Yeah, I
No,
heard
no,
something about
nothing.
like somebody tweeted at me that I needed to like share a Dorito with Patrick, like
Oh.
a man-to-man Dorito, and I'm not sure what that meant.
Man to
I
man.
just
I'm just gonna go ahead and say we need to move on from this because
Yes.
all right.
I did hear a rumor today. Somebody told me today, it was actually Ryan from On Air PC. He told me that the Halo collection is coming to PC. Does anybody know? Has anybody heard that?
it'd be cool if that's true.
Yo, that'd be
Yeah, the
amazing.
Master Chief collection. Wouldn't that be that would be
That would
dope.
be-
That'd be awesome.
Unconfirmed sources tell me.
Even though I bought the Master Chief collection for my Xbox,
Yeah.
just so I could play it, I still haven't played it because it stunk that bad when it came out.
It was broken
Yeah,
for
it
like
was-
6 months.
Oh, yeah, it was
I
really
couldn't
bad.
play it, and I
It was
eventually just
unplayable.
looked at my Xbox One, and I was like, I sold
You'd
it.
queue up in a match, and then it would be like 7 versus 1. It was like, what? Okay.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah.
I never played it on
Yeah.
launch, but yeah.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of the single player, but the multiplayer was terrible on launch. They ended up adding like a whole nother game to it to kind of make good.
ODST, right?
Yeah.
I don't get all the comments in chat about Doritos porn. I guess I need to go watch this
You
video.
gotta do
I mean,
some
is it
research,
I wouldn't.
Hope.
two
But
Doritos?
honestly, you're better off right now than you would be if you knew what the
If
fuck
you
you're talking
if you watch the
about. Your life
end,
is better now.
Is it
No,
like
no,
two,
he needs
two,
to- he
two
needs
guys, one Dorito
experiences.
kind of thing?
One guy, 2 Doritos.
Really?
Yeah, that's an accurate description.
But the thing is, when I eat Doritos, I put a couple in my mouth at a time.
Yeah. We'll just go with that.
Actually, probably more
Okay,
than
so
2.
next question, because people are probably tired of reliving that moment that listened to the last podcast.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some clips
Yeah,
on the. I'll watch the clips.
Yeah. Save
There you
those
go.
for later for you to watch.
No, I'm gonna watch them right now. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
don't want to see a vomit on live.
No, it's gonna be good.
Terrano New One says, question, what specifically is in this update that will bring people back playing this game more? I think we talked about this.
If the mods are freaking amazing and change the whole game,
Yeah.
maybe. Because people be like, oh, I want to try that out. I want to try out a build, you know? You can mess around
They
with
also
the
said
build.
mods could be delayed until like spring.
Yes. So,
Mm.
yes. Yes.
For every hour you log in, you earn $1 with Bungie. You're on their payroll.
Oh my God, Patrick, what is your problem? Who the fuck does that?
Me.
No.
You should clarify also what age you were, because some people thought you were in your 20s.
I mean, if I could get 3D Doritos in my current time period, actually,
All
I
right.
think
No. Let's
I'd
move
totally
on.
try it again.
Let's move
But
on.
anyway,
We're moving
You
on.
try it again?
Oh my.
Yeah, I'd try it again.
Ah.
Tried to save you, Pope. You just wouldn't.
How do we get back here?
Every time.
Gratio Gamer says, do you think there is a season that Bungie won't come out and say, we took risks, they were wrong, we effed up, sorry? I feel this would do more for the community than a couple lackluster blog posts and continued vague apologies and statements.
So,
First off, this wasn't a fucking lackluster blog post. Just get that out of the way.
it wasn't, no.
Mm.
So the reason I picked this one, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I think that they have been doing a better job of being honest, especially Christopher Barrett on Twitter was like, we hear you about Eververse and like, we agree that things are not correct. But I think what we need more than anything is for the Sandbox and PvP team to come out and be like, guys, 4v4 didn't really work. We think 6v6 is better. Or we think that the time to kill, whatever it is that they want to say. I feel like the community will respond really well to them coming out and being like, guys, we messed up with this.
There's very little
they
community
agree.
will respond well when talking about the internet at large.
The reason I actually
sure.
picked this question was because they literally said this. They did a podcast. Was that in November? If you look at the most recent Bungie podcast, it's literally them saying, we took risks, they were wrong, we fucked up, sorry.
Yep.
I
That's
feel
what
like
the
they did.
podcast was.
Agreed.
So, like,
Not
they're
in those
actually,
words,
like-
but yeah.
yeah, almost though.
Yeah.
So Gracie, I would recommend listening to that podcast.
Agreed.
The other thing I just kind of wanted to address this. I've seen a lot of people's like complaints and what they believe to be criticism as trying they're wording it or just being aggressive about it in such a way that they're trying to make like whoever they're talking to just like insult them, make them feel worse about it. There's proper ways to do this. I'm not saying just that we'll be able to change anything by saying this, but just act like you're actually talking to a person that's in front of you, because every time you try to insult someone or make someone feel down about a criticism like this, that's they're not going to hear you. They can't hear you through that. And yeah. And like asking for apologies and that stuff directly is again trying to put like yourself above them when we're all kind of on the equal level. We're all on an equal level here. We're all trying to play the game and make it, and we all want the game to be better. So like saying your opinion has value or insulting someone so that you appear to be, or you're putting yourself above them it's not the way to fucking go about it. Anyway. Yeah. Sorry. I had to...
Rusty Garnish says, would you guys have been okay with Destiny 2 coming out this year, allowing more development time and us getting a small story updates throughout the year that would lead us into Destiny 2?
So
what if
like,
Destiny 2 got delayed to 2018?
So like Rise of Iron 2 came out in September, and then another year of waiting.
With a huge sandbox change that took away one-shot fusion grenades?
Man, Briar, I don't know if I can answer that question. It just seems so... I don't know. No, I wouldn't have been okay then that they delayed the game.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we were back then, we'd be like, really?
I would have lost my shit if they had delayed the game a year.
Yeah.
It's kind of easy to say it now, isn't it?
Right.
Oh, you should have done this. This would have been better. But
Yeah.
how we would have reacted to that. Because, I mean, like, I don't know if it was Tefty said, like, you didn't play much in the summer, like, before D2 dropped. And I feel like that, I mean, part of that was probably knowing that D2 is coming, like, to a degree. But I think also, like, that would have just gotten worse and worse. And there'd have been, like, maybe a year there where we basically didn't have any Destiny. Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty much done with it by July. Check things out once a week. That was enough for me. I was playing other games until Destiny 2 came out.
Kevin Caslow says, how do you folks feel about all the Crucible changes, yet no discussion really about speeding up the time to kill to make PvP more exciting? Kind of feel like we adjusted.
We addressed that with the same.
They also kind of like, they did say they were like looking into that, but we didn't get any details, right?
Yeah.
It was like quick play, change pace, you know. Yeah.
Very, very vague things that might be associated with it, but no direct commentary.
Yeah.
I like this question because William says, only question I got, and then asked 2 questions. Is it a matter of too little too late? If it's not too late, how much needs to be done and how fast do the changes need to come out?
I mean, ideally, all this stuff would come out tomorrow. But there are certain realities where, they're developing a game on multiple platforms. And they're developing multiple things at the same time. They're working on another expansion, I assume. They're working on another DLC, I assume. They have a live team doing all this. I don't think of this as excuses. I just think of it as the reality of there's a lot of things going on, and it's going to take a while to do this stuff.
Yep. This is a personal question, right? It's like to each person, is it a matter of too little, too late? Maybe for one person it is, and maybe for another person it's not.
You agree?
And how much needs to be done, and how fast does it need to be done? Again, it's going to be an individual's decision.
Exactly.
For me, like, I agree with Tefty. There's no other game like this, and I enjoy playing it still. I certainly don't feel the same about the game that I did, in Destiny 1, and I don't feel the same about the company as I did during Destiny 1. But I still do enjoy playing the game, and I'm hoping that Bungie is going to rebound from this because, they do a lot of great work.
Yeah. And also, to add to that, again, the Savathun DLC or the Comet DLC, whatever you want to call it, for September is probably going to bring in a whole new set of people who've never played Destiny, who heard about Destiny 2, heard it had some problems, and then they jump into that version and then get to experience Destiny 2 Savathun expansion version, and that's their Taken King when they remember how things were and so on and so forth. There absolutely will be a set of the population that has moved on, and that's evolution. That's how things progress. Some people are on it for the whole time. Some people are on it for a window, and all the variations in between.
I can't wait to get those Christmas or the Winter Guardians, the Kinder Guardians, and give them the, man, you don't know how good you got it.
Exactly.
Right.
Back when I was
Eververse.
we had to deal with this woman named Tess.
You don't know her now.
Evil
She's
things
dead.
to us, just evil things. She made me do some evil
I was
things.
violated.
I was violated in the most despicable way.
Tied me down to a bed and broke my shins with a sledgehammer.
I watched that movie.
It's a good movie.
It is.
Sometimes it feels like it.
Doughboy says, would anyone like to see old patrols remastered as the free spring update? Yes, I'd like to see brand new content, but if they already started doing this pre-Destiny 2, it seems logical they could finish the process easily.
What do you mean, like revamp
What?
patrols as in like revamp the
Actual, like,
Bring the
patrol
Destiny 1
beacons?
patrols back to Destiny
Oh.
2.
the
Like
patrol
the play
beacons?
spaces?
Or the...
No, the play space patrols.
The physical
planets.
play space.
Yeah, like Venus, Earth.
I feel like that's just as big of a thing to put in the game as brand new stuff, right? Like, it's not going to be a simple copy paste because they changed a lot of their system. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,
They'd have to make
I
it
spent
live.
3 years in those
Yeah.
places. I'm not really eager to go back.
I would say I would love to see it happen as long as the Taken don't come with it.
and it has to be free.
It's got to be free.
Oh,
we
it's
can't
definitely
pay
gotta be
for
free.
it again.
I can't be paying for the Cosmodrome that I've
But
been
even
in.
then, it's not free because it costs development resources, which could be
Yeah,
spent
it's not
doing something else.
That's true.
Yeah, this is it.
I think that's the question. It's like, how difficult would it be to port over D1 strikes and patrol areas?
Does anyone here have experience working with the engine that the mapping
They
engine
use
that
a Bungie?
Destiny
No,
uses?
I do not. No.
Right.
Okay,
I
no one
once
no
watched
one
a
here.
So,
TV show
let-
called The Shade Tree Mechanics, so I feel
Let me finish my
pretty
thought.
comfortable with engine.
What I'm saying is that if for them, if there was if it only took a small team to port some of that stuff over into D2 as a free patch, then yeah, let's have it. But if it's going to take a sizable amount of their team that could be working on new expansions that are going to be better for the game, then I'd rather have that.
Yes. There we go.
I don't know how hard it is to just highlight with your mouse, Control C, right? Drag over to the other spot.
Well, what if
And then
one of them's
Control
working on a
V.
PC and one of them's working on a Mac? You got to hit like the command
Oh.
instead of the control. It's very confusing.
Oh,
That's so.
waste a lot of time on
Very
that.
confusing.
This is why they keep
I'm-
rebooting these games, man.
It's just Control C, Control V. I mean, I can do it right now.
I mean, I could do that in the source engine. Hey, Bungie, I have experience working the source engine. Can I copy and paste? Not gonna work. Not gonna work. Wait, Valve's like right around the corner from them. I could totally just plug the buildings, like plug Valve building, take a power
Yeah,
cord
just,
from
electricity
just
there.
at
move
Bungie.
all the stuff from Destiny 2,
and-
put it
and
on
they
what
got a
engine
power
that
cord
you
puts
puts
can
out new
use.
games. I mean, it's crazy. Just take an example from Valve. They're putting
Yeah.
out new games every day.
Yeah. That's what the Eververse needs to be. Eververse
Talk
needs to
about
be like
nimble
Steam.
development.
Right?
See,
What are we waiting 15 years now for Half-Life 3? Connor says, do you think Destiny would work well as a Bethesda RPG? If so, what would your favorite character-related quest in the game be?
my favorite one would probably be the part where I get to a city and then a bug happens. And then I can't continue the quest in the city because all the people in the city are trying to kill me and I have to run away.
But
You
That
gotta
one's my
load like
favorite
a game
That's
save
exciting.
that's
Yeah.
like it replays 6 hours of Bethesda version Destiny because
Yeah.
of a bug,
That's-
or your
that's-
character gets stuck in the world.
but you remember to have multiple saves though, right? Or did you forget?
Oh no, you definitely got multiple saves. Definitely got
Well,
multiple
it,
saves.
it corrupts the
Unfortunately,
rest of the file.
Drops
corrupt.
all of them?
Everything's it's corrupt.
Oh my god.
the new game
Correct.
update corrupted all your old saves.
Got to reinstall Windows?
Reinstall. Yeah, you
Woo.
just gotta start again.
Jeez.
Don't forget the load times also will get longer, so you have to wait for longer load times,
Okay.
and then all the bad guys instantly want to fight you because you just have this bug where you're constantly, being.
The good news,
being
though,
fought.
is that your RNG bullets on hand cannons going to fit right in. Fit right in.
I had something like that happen with this save getting corrupted. But I was compiling a map back for Counter-Strike, and it was such a large map, and my processor was so shit that the entire it just caused the thermal failure in the processor, and it cracked. And my computer died from
That sucks.
from compiling a map.
What
Wow.
the fuck? I have
Yeah.
never heard of that before.
Sounds like your cooling was failing.
The cooling was failing, and then the
How did
source,
the processor not shut down before it physically harmed itself?
source engine compiler. I'm just gonna blame it on that because Source Engine 1 compiler was pretty gnarly on your processor.
Unichronic says, I've read through the dev update and there are some solid changes coming in January and February. My biggest concern is that a lot of the big PvP changes are spring and fall, which might well be too far away. I think this is a good start, but I'm still a little concerned. We kind of talked about this too.
We agree.
We did. All
Yep.
PvP players are scared. There we go.
Yeah.
PvP too far away.
Yeah.
Bad.
I'm sorry. I'm going to start reading ahead a little bit here. Bill Me Now Gaming says, my question, does anyone miss heavy machine guns? And do you think they will make a return?
Yes, and
Yes.
please.
And yes.
Yes, and probably not, unless they switch away the weapon slots work, and then machine guns will have a place. Nice little snoozy place.
A little snoozy.
Little snoozy. I like that word.
Yeah. That'd be
Instead
nice.
of comfy or snoozy place.
Hmm. I recently
At
logged
the
in.
very least, we should get an exotic machine gun. At the very least. That could be
Exotic
interesting.
machine gun would be
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, even if it was just the only one, initially.
The only one, and it's a Trials exotic.
The sweet
Yeah.
business does not satisfy that urge for you guys?
For me, it does. I love the sweet
Kind
business.
of. It is awesome. I like it. It just doesn't feel, I don't know, Thunderlordy enough.
You know, if
I
it
guess.
made people explode as well, we'd be hitting some good points here.
I like explosions.
See,
Yeah.
that's the
yeah.
fundamental problem with the loot right now is that
We need more explosions.
yeah, we need weapons that make you go, damn, I need this gun. Instead,
Every weapon needs to be sunshot. Okay, that's what you take away from the conversation.
You can
Just
use
make them
Sunshot with
different
a larger magazine, though, to be honest with you.
And fully automatic fire.
And an auto aim.
Yeah.
And Wolfpack rounds.
Yeah.
Rob Galasso says, can we date it? January 11th, 2018. From this day forward, no one is allowed to say Bungie doesn't listen anymore. It's time for that comment to die.
Yeah, it's gonna keep happening.
yeah.
Sorry.
I think it's
Bungie
silly.
listens, but
They just don't necessarily tell you they're
You
listening.
can still keep that meme going about them not doing anything, but they're listening. That's fine. They're listening.
We as soon as we'll start seeing some of these things happening, and that's when I think that's when that will die.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
the
we need to see it
get-go of
implemented a
Destiny-
little bit.
One, I feel like we've known they're listening. I mean, look, Sparrow Racing League, that's a Bungie was listening kind of thing. They've constant updates, constant improvements from Bungie on Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 in direct feedback from the community. I think the question isn't are they listening, it's are they willing to talk
they
about what
talking?
they're doing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Are they talking to us about what they're planning on doing?
Yeah.
I think it's somewhat an ignorant comment to say they're not listening. I honestly do.
Yeah, they're
They're
totally
clearly
listening. It's very obvious that they're listening.
Gary 8X says, favorite loadout for Crucible in Destiny 2. He says on PS4, but I don't play Destiny 2 on PS4 anymore, so I'm going to answer it on PC.
I still have my PS4 ones. Dire Promise, Tone Patrol, and Quick Fang, which is basically the same thing on.
Dire
PC?
Promise, The Darkest Before,
It's a good
which
one.
is the Trials Pulse Rifle. It's meta for all the ELO farmers, so it's good. And
Yeah, that's nice.
the Colony.
Oh, I love the colony.
You
Watch.
don't even need to aim. You see someone in the general direction, just squirt out 2 spooters
If
at
you
him.
have low FPS.
Yeah, if it's
you have
the
low
low
FPS.
FPS.
But he asked for console, so you're
Yeah,
good.
so it's
Yeah.
broken on PC, isn't it?
Doesn't work on
Yeah.
PC
Yeah.
with high FPS. They literally
Yeah.
ignore
I don't
enemies.
have it on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Telesto's actually really good.
You gotta aim it like a pleb.
Bought this GTX 1080
Hit the
Ti
target.
to experience the game and good FPS, and now
No, you gotta turn it down. So you can
Turn
have
it down, damn it.
Spooters. Maximum spooter action.
My favorite loadout right now for the Crucible is the Jack Queen King, the Antiope, and the play of the game. Like it's the maximum fun loadout for me right now. If I really need a long range gun, I'll switch to a scout rifle instead of the Jack Queen King.
Nice. I've been doing.
I like the pulse rifles, man.
Yeah.
Like Autumn Wind and Darkest Before. Like
Yeah.
I just want like Nightshade. I want it to be really good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just missed the pulse rifle, like pulse rifles from D1.
The pulse rifle meta was like the best one.
Enjoy auto rifles. So Uriel's Gift is probably my favorite. I know there's others that are better right now, that but just the feel of it. So I like a Better Devils Uriel's Gift, and then play the game.
For me, Midnight Coup. Surprise, surprise. But this is going to be on PC. Midnight Coup, and then for my energy, it's either going to be Uriel's or Positive Outlook or Darkest Before, because I am also a fan of Darkest Before. The thing shreds up to a certain point, and then it feels like it has no accuracy at all. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And then my power weapon slots recently, Telesto is amazingly fun.
Telesto's really good.
It's so fun. I hated it in D1. In D2, it is my jam. I killed in Mayhem. I made a point to kill a Titan that was trying to slam, and I was shooting the floor in front of me as I was backing up, shooting the floor,
Oh.
and I killed him with it. It was great.
So good. And in Countdown, you can spray the bomb with it. So when people are trying to defuse, they can't. Telesto's exploding
awesome.
on it.
That's amazing. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's
It's a-
Telesto is finally the weapon that they wanted it to be.
That's
Telesto is a better prospector.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Think
Basically.
Yeah.
prospector, you're trying to shoot things and then you detonate them yourself. No, just
Squirt it. We call it the molesto.
Telesto the Molesto.
Unchrasmatic says, "Ahoy, mateys! If Captain Patty had a boat, what would he name it?
Captain Patty.
What is the name of Captain Patty's boat?"
I mean, we're going to be riding it on the 24th, right? We're going to be
Right.
riding Captain Patty boat.
Actually, this is a great name. And
Especially Tefty, because he's the man.
my dick.
oh my god.
Everyone get on my dick.
Oh, you tried to hold that back.
You should call it. You should call it the Black Lotus. It fits with magic.
My dick.
I'm not. I won't be
Winchester
getting on that
Red.
boat. I'm sorry.
But you're the
You're not gonna get on my dick.
Nope.
No.
No.
Well, we're gonna go out on a 3-hour tour. On my dick.
Oh my dick. My dick.
I mean, there is Moby Dick, so take out the O and the B. You got my dick. There you go.
I don't know. We go like
It makes
SS 3D Doritos or something. try to nab that spot.
You can make it look like a Dorito too. That's kind of ship shaped.
Yeah. Marine memes.
Marine memes. I like it.
This one's from Danny. He says, "Why do pizzas come in square boxes, are circles, and are eaten as triangles?"
See,
Peaches? Is there something?
pizza is an American invention.
Oh, pizza.
Pizza is an American invention, and we were trying to teach kids all the different types of geometries and shapes. So we introduced it to them early. So you try to indoctrinate them with as many shapes as possible. So you get square, circle, and it really confuses them though, because the circle actually does fit inside the square, and that threw me for a loop for a couple of years when I was younger.
Have you ever tried to close a circular box? It's very difficult. It's very structurally sound. The box is a really nice invention. That's why, even though the pie is circle, the circular box is just unmanageable.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go with this. I just I like my pizza any shape it comes in. There's really no
shape prejudice against your pizza.
I've seen pizza in square. I've seen pizza circle. I've seen pizza rectangular. I've seen
Square cut pizza is an unholy abortion that should be condemned by God.
You know what? There's times where you go to a you're at a party, a cocktail party, and they've got square cut little pizzas.
You should pick up your shit and leave.
That's when you know it's fancy fire. Okay?
These are not the people you want to be hanging out with. These are bad people capable of making poor decisions. This is a dangerous spot.
Sounds like fun friends, honestly.
I box out that hors d'oeuvres table, and I just eat the whole damn pizza.
Throwing elbows over the hors d'oeuvres.
Oh man!
If it's an affront to God, I'm more likely to put it in my body. So let's go.
That's a plus.
Nothing spices a food like sheer irreverence.
Ash K Boost says, if two guardians have a baby together, does the baby automatically have the light, or does it need to be chosen by the traveler?
Needs to be chosen.
It has to be chosen by a traveler.
Yep.
That's what
I don't think
Doesn't it
live
need to
things
die
get
first?
chosen by the traveler, though. It has to be dead, right?
It's
Yeah,
dead.
imagine if a baby dies and they're like a 1-year-old, and then they come back to life. A 1-year-old with guardian powers? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm
That
telling
doesn't
you,
sound
exactly.
like a baby I want to deal
Stillborn.
with, honestly.
Now, if you have a stillborn baby, now we're talking.
Oh my God.
That's the best case scenario.
This has got to go somewhere else. I have a 3-month-old, and I do not want to think about any babies dying.
Does the baby traveler, does the baby guardian grow, or does it stay? Is it like a vampire that's
what
like
I'm
a 7-year-old
saying. It's
vampire?
They're supposed to
freaky.
stay that age once they've been
I
chosen.
think
Wait, are
I've just-
guardians really tall?
No, they're different
My
sizes.
guardian's not.
Wouldn't it be a really tall baby?
Like a foot.
A really
He's
big
a
baby.
foot shorter than Saladin. Saladin's a tall dude.
But maybe Saladin's like 9 foot and we're like 8. Yeah.
Could be.
Hmm.
Could be.
Either way, I think we might have just ruined the entire story of Destiny.
I could see a toddler having a temper tantrum and just Nova bombing their parents.
Oh, God.
Right?
Stand by for resurrection.
This sounds awful.
Poorly coordinated fist of havoc. So.
Hey, have you guys seen any of the news that came out of CES about those new big screen gaming displays?
I thought you were going to say those new
Oh,
robot
really?
guardian babies. I was like,
Oh no!
Robot guardian baby chucking Nova bombs
I
at
have
you.
not.
I didn't know that was a thing. I'm very interested.
Yeah, I have heard about that. Yeah.
120 hertz, 55-inch, 65-inch TVs
Mhm.
I did
with
see.
DisplayPort, G-Sync.
Yeah.
What is the refresh rate for optimal ELO farming?
Good
Oh,
question.
nice.
240 hertz.
Okay, I got
That's what I'm gonna go
to
with.
farm my ELOs.
My brother actually tweeted or texted me literally that same TV while we're doing the podcast. Not
Yeah.
lying, yeah.
There's like 3 of them at CES.
Mhm.
Absolute Zero says,
Hold on, were
When
we
getting-
talking about CES?
we were.
No,
You
we were
missed
just
it.
Passed
done
it.
though.
Damn it! I wanted to talk about the
Missed that.
Razer,
The laptop phone thingy.
the laptop phone thing. I think it was sweet.
Yeah, that thing looks cool.
It looks
Right?
so cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Razer's doing some cool stuff.
That's the most likely Razer product thing I'd actually buy because it's like, oh, it's a phone.
What do you use it for, though? Like, what's the
Fucking
What's the use
games and shit.
Yeah.
It's like a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
For your phone.
But my phone.
but huge and
a
inconvenient?
laptop.
No,
It's just a big screen with a keyboard that you
It
put
would
your phone in.
perfectly
Yeah.
fit in my bag for magic cards. Okay, you see
That's
it?
a purse.
No, this is
It's
a
a
Dom
merce.
key. This is a Dom key camera bag. It's got
It's
perfect.
a purse.
Yeah,
It's a merce.
You,
Dom key camera bag.
okay,
that's a very nice handbag.
nice handbag.
Will that be coming on your pirate ship?
I'm gonna force all of
Carry
you
your
to wear
Doritos
one.
in it. You know?
Force all you to wear one. You guys will see how useful it is to have a satchel like that.
I mean, I have a
Hey.
handbag, so like.
Let me ask you, Holtz. In reality, on that device, where would you actually use it? Like, you already have a gaming rig at home, and that's
Yes.
where you stream. That's where you play games. Are you really gonna
When I
like
go
bring that?
outside.
Are you gonna bring it to your Magic tournament and play Fallout for like 15 minutes and then play Magic?
Well,
cards?
it doesn't have enough power to run Fallout, so let's just get that out of the way.
But
No,
that's
it
what I'm
would
saying.
be like-
Play the
be like-
Fallout phone game.
Mobile, if I need to use a laptop or something, and I want to actually have clicky keyboard, I want to, use it for that.
Responding to
nice.
emails when you're away, instead of using your phone, you want to use your keyboard, you slap it in there.
Yeah, exactly.
No?
Totally worth it.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then I can play games and shit.
Yeah, not sold at all.
You can play games
I'm
while you're
not
doing
sold.
your emails.
Like, I think it's cool too, but I just can't imagine what I would use it for.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
Like, I have an iPad and I have a keyboard that hooks it to a Bluetooth.
oh, I fucking hate those keyboards for the iPads.
I literally
I can't type.
never fucking use it, and it's not that I hate it. Like, I actually enjoy it. It's just a regular Apple keyboard, like the aluminum and white keyboard. It's
Let's
just
be honest. The
like,
people that are going to use
I
this
got a
are
computer
people who
fucking
are
right here.
leaving their house, and we don't do that.
We don't really leave.
That's what I'm
make
saying.
a strong point there, Watts.
That's what I'm saying.
Imagine
why
a
it would
guy
go in my
who
magic
loves
bag.
gaming and he travels.
Yeah.
He's gonna love this thing.
Like
Us,
Magic the
no.
Gathering enthusiasts. If I'm going to a GP all day, I want my laptop, but I don't want to carry my laptop. So he's got this lightweight thing that also plugs in with my phone, and boom, yeah, perfect.
Just-
and I don't have to pay.
Just sound like scenarios that you may or may never do, honestly.
Hey, there's a GP coming up in like April, and it's going to be huge, and I'm going to be there for like 3 or 4 days, like 3 days straight, and I don't want to have to lug a laptop around. But if I had that Razer talk to me about your phone and laptop, yeah.
If you brought a laptop, you could blog about it, and that way you don't have to come back and tell us about it.
Exactly.
You know what? Actually, someone in chat brought up a really good point. Off-world said, think about vlogging and recording it on your phone, and then you just slap your phone into the laptop. You can immediately edit it. No transferring, no nothing. Just boop.
It's true.
That's pretty.
I'd use it for that.
There you go.
I'd use it for that. There you go.
I'd rather just use a computer to render it.
Right? My actual workstation that I'm comfortable
like-
with.
1/100th of the time. Absolute Zero says, when getting up with buds to raid or PvP or whatever you're going to do for a while, what's your beverage of choice? Beer? Soda? We all know that Briar prefers a nice old fashioned. That's funny. What do you guys like to drink when you're raiding or PvPing?
I just drink water, honestly. Water or coffee.
Water,
Coffee.
coconut water, or Coke. Mexican Coke, out of a bottle.
What was the question?
What do you want to drink when you're
What's
raiding?
your favorite drink and snake?
Oh, coffee.
Coffee. It's coffee.
Coffee and water. That's it for me. It's all I pretty much drink. Ever.
I'm the same except I don't drink water.
Damn.
Nate Rutan says, besides the obvious needed changes we've been discussing for weeks now, what is one thing each of you want in Destiny 2? Like a true dream implementation. For me, it's a Husk of the Pit style progression system for many or all weapons. Husk of the Pit. I was surprised about this. Can you imagine a Husk of the Pit progression system for every fucking weapon in the game?
That's
That'd be a grind.
Jeez.
The grind for Bungie.
One
For sure.
A super fun PvP sandbox. I don't know how to make it fun. I want to go in there and like 12 hours later, I'm like, whoa, what time is it?
You know
fun?
it when you see it. It's like, oh, this is fun. For a thing, I would like the Gurubashi. I talked about this previously, I think. The Gurubashi Arena from World of Warcraft, which is just like a free-for-all arena. Anyone could jump in, and then there's an event that would happen every so often that would cause people to jump in, so it became this huge battle royale. It was great.
I'd like to
Battle
see
Royale.
Arms
There
Day.
you go. Arms
Arms
Day.
Day.
Not battle
Arms
royale.
Day of some sort. Even if they, I don't know, make like Masterworks more interesting, like give you another perk or something first, and then like Banshee brought like a bunch of possible weapons you could upgrade to have that perk each week, and then you could pick up the thing for Better Devils and go and do X, Y, and Z, and maybe it would allow you to like re-roll that perk out of like a set of possible things. I don't know, something like that. But that's like a whole bunch of different things all at once, I think. Really.
I think I'd want the depth and mod system of Warframe intelligently put into Destiny mods. Not just a mashup where it's suddenly like, what the hell? But like a system that would really be interesting and would fit with the game to expand the end game, so your hunt for mods is very meaningful in the way you apply them.
I like it.
John Lyon says, if you guys decided to stop talking about Destiny and move forward just talking about video games, would you do it? I've stopped playing Destiny 2, but still listen every week to laugh with you. Thank you, John. That's very nice.
Yeah. We've kind of started doing that a little bit. We'll feature kind of larger segments when there's not a lot of news to discuss. We'll just talk about other games. This maybe, and then I mean, we focus on Destiny, but when there's not a lot to focus on, sights turn elsewhere.
See last week's show.
Yeah. Took I believe it was 36 minutes for us to actually get to Destiny 2 conversation.
Yeah, I think it's when Destiny's interesting, we talk about it, and then when we got to talk about other things, we do it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think more of the highlight for me is just getting together every week and shooting the shit with you guys.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I think our most entertaining show, like, is a purely entertainment product.
Yeah.
Are when we don't have dick to talk about. Like, we literally have nothing Destiny related to talk about. I think that's some of when we come up with our most creative and entertaining shows, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're not
I agree.
They're not like informative like today. Or they're not like, but they're just madcap and like, it's where the shit like 3D Doritos story come from.
That's true.
It's just, you're just out there on a limb trying to stretch for time.
All right.
Trent says, do you flush the toilet every time you go pee or wait till you go on 2 to 3 times to conserve water?
I just went pee. Nick, tell me if the audio file picked up me not flushing.
If it's yellow, lay it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
I only piss outside. I only piss out of doors, so I don't really have much textually to say about
Take
this.
yourself for a walk.
I'm marking my territory, man.
Hit the same tree every time.
I don't want any of the other human males to like invade my territory, so just spraying everything I can find.
I think it depends on the water crisis that's going on in California. And, I will flush depending on that.
I live in Seattle. Like, there's so much water. It's raining for literally like 5 months.
It's been raining so much, and it's
been raining a lot.
I live in England, so
there you go. Same situation.
Right. We flush. Actually, I don't know that. I flush.
Did you just flush assume all of England?
Yeah,
Oh boy.
I know.
Jamie Peretti says, do you fart in front of your spouse or partner?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what makes it special. Because you don't have to hold it.
Sometimes.
I would if I wasn't in a long-term, like long-distance relationship.
Oh.
I mean, I fart on stream a bunch. Sometimes it gets picked up, so I guess that's the same, right? When she's sitting there watching stream. Yeah.
Somebody clip that.
Just with the relatively serious look on your face as well.
Yeah.
I don't fart in
Excellent.
front of my wife. I don't do it.
Really?
You only fart under the covers.
It might happen accidentally.
Covers.
Right. Like, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, there's the Dutch oven. But like,
How do you draw a line,
You
Brian?
got me.
on the daily basis, like I feel like it's a respect thing. Like,
Listen, I eat a lot of vegetables. I don't know if you guys have eaten a lot of vegetables, but
Totally. Yeah.
No.
I tried one
Especially
once. It wasn't my
mushrooms.
thing.
Yeah. But
mushrooms. Yeah.
You don't have to be
You guys
holding
are-
that in.
you guys ever farted and like actually had it smell like propane? I had a really embarrassing thing happen after growing up where they actually thought there was a gas leak in the classroom.
Damn.
I farted and it smelled like propane.
Wow.
I actually had to evacuate the classroom.
They
Propane leak?
evacuated the
Is it gas
classroom?
leak?
Sixth grade
shit.
science class. There's like the gas things in the classroom. It smelled like propane.
What were you living on at the time?
Like, I remember.
Doritos.
3D
Right.
I feel like we're learning way too much about Patrick's upbringing. And
It's
Backwaters
a very
are
better,
scary place. It is.
Oh my gosh.
wow. Well, it's 9:00 Pacific.
On a Saturday, the regular
Yeah.
crowd shuffled in.
Yeah.
Is that the cue to end it, Pope? All right. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in to the 67th episode of the Destiny Community Podcast. It nearly went 3 hours, so if you stuck it around to the very end, thank you all very much for hanging out. We'll be back next week with who, Pope?
Meki.
Oh, Faisal Meki.
Yep.
All right, great.
We've got a great artist on next week.
Got another artist coming on, so thank you all for tuning in this week. If you want to find more of me and my absolutely horrifying bodily function stories, you can find me on Twitter at Holtzmann_YT.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me on Twitter at the Briar Rabbit. You can find me streaming daily on Twitch, just look up Briar Rabbit, or occasionally, once in a while, making a YouTube video.
Nice.
Also Briar Rabbit.
I'm Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. Catch my streams, twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. I usually start around 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I also have begun uploading stream highlights / the stream archives onto my YouTube channel, which is Tefty Teft as well. So yeah. 2018, guys.
Oh, are you hiring someone to edit for you?
No.
Not
yet.
Oh.
I should.
There you go.
Nice.
And I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at Miss 5000 Watts.
Houndish, the guy that's 3 or 4 in the morning right there.
It's 2 minutes past 5 in the morning. And you can find me on
Sleep
YouTube.
on the ground.
Yeah, primarily asleep on the ground. Maybe I'll make a video tomorrow. Probably not. But yeah, you can find me at YouTube. On YouTube, just search for Houndish, all one word. You can put X's either side of that if you really want. Same on Twitter. You're almost certainly going to find me. There's not many people called Houndish.
I definitely recommend you go and give him a subscription. Follow him on Twitter. His content's really great. This has been Pope Bear. You can find me on Twitter at Pope Bear. And you can make sure to follow the Destiny Community Podcast on Twitter at DestinyCompod. And if you're listening to this on iTunes, please make sure to rate us, leave a comment. It really helps us out. We are proud to announce that on Podbean and on iTunes, we have broken into the top 10 of gaming podcasts for all of 2017. So thank you very much. You guys helped drive us to that, and we're really proud of it, and we're glad that we could be here every week to brighten your day and bring you some news on Destiny.
Patrick's life.
Patrick's bodily functions.
So when
And
Destiny,
Doritos.
if Destiny goes downhill, can we just change it to the Patrick's Story podcast? And then we'll just, every week, he'll tell us a segment. We'll talk about
We'll
it.
have to do something, you know.
He can have his
No.
own little segment. We have a little intro like ding, Patrick's Story.
Yeah.
And then he comes on with a top hat, maybe a pipe. He tells a story about it.
I just have a
Patty.
pre-recorded segment each podcast, and you guys can.
I want to keep it with the Captain Patty theme.
Yeah.
I'm really attached to that.
And starting
Position of power. I like it.
starting next week, you audio listeners are going to get there's going to be a mid-roll ad read. We signed up with a advertiser that's going to be selling ads, so please be patient with us as we're helping to pay for our wonderful artists and sound editors who help produce this podcast.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Later,
guys.
everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
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 Oh my
All right, Houndish, you can stop recording now, and then